Tonight on 11 Alive News in Primetime, parents are coming to a mom's defense after she left her child at a hospital. Why the safe haven law does not apply.
Also coming up, we are taking a look back many years at the deadliest day in Lake Lanier's history. Back to 1964, it was a day to remember and in some ways to forget.
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Well, this is an issue that every young person and parents certainly wrestle with all the time, and that is student loan and student loan debt remaining a top issue among 2020 in the presidential candidates. Some Democratic candidates proposing a lot of free stuff, free tuition, free colleges, wiping out student debt.
Well, two former Georgia State students are already doing what they can to tackle the issue through the creation of their mobile app called Coins.
Elwin Lopez sat down with them today. And Elwin, this is an issue that really resonates for everybody, not only in Atlanta, but all around the country. There is great concern about where this is going.
Yeah, that's right. And Atlanta is number 2 on the list of metro cities with the most debt this year. That's according to LendingTree. Christian Zimmerman was in his early 20s when he and Nate Washington launched the mobile app Coins, which now helps them and others pay off their student debt.
Once I found out that I had that problem, I tried to see, what other people may have run into the same problem, and I found out there was almost all Americans.
$1.6 trillion. That is how much is owed in federal student loans. Each year, nearly 12 million students borrow $100 billion from the federal government to attend a college or trade school.
A lot of what isn't told to parents or students in general is kind of like what can come afterwards, or what you don't know what the repercussions are afterwards.
In just a few years, Zimmerman and Nate Washington have helped more than 60,000 people whittle down their debt with their app Coins.
To date, we've helped people pay off close to $10 million worth of debt so far.
The app can round up your purchases and apply the change toward your debt on a monthly cycle.
If you make a purchase for $3.50, we round it up to $4 and take the 50 cents and automatically apply it to your debt.
A lot of people would argue that, I could just make monthly payments on my own, but most people don't. So we try to help build that habit so you can start to see the impact that you can make by making little changes.
And the two Georgia State alums say that within the app, you can also talk to a financial advisor while in college to better guide you through the repayment process. And we know that student loans will continue to be a talker throughout the elections, and this isn't an issue that seems to be going away anytime soon. Natisha.
Thank you, Elwin. A mom is charged with child cruelty after leaving her 14-year-old son with special needs at Grady Hospital. At first, police and the hospital had no idea who the child was after discovering him wandering alone outside the hospital. But a teacher who saw her story recognized the boy and reached out to police. The mom told officers she was just overwhelmed caring for the teen and 3 other children. The story is now sparking a conversation about resources for families. 11 Alive's Caitlin Ross spoke to 2 families who know those struggles all too well.
Look, you get mommy the picture and you get the book.
At 4 and a half, Asher is finally learning to communicate with his mom.
Oh, thank you.
In his own way. He points at pictures to tell her what he needs.
All I want to do is talk to Asher, and I want him to be able to wake up and say, I want to eat this for breakfast. I want to watch this. I want to play with this, or I love you, Mom.
Just last week, Megan Nash posted on social media about how hard it is to have a child who can't talk to her, tell her how he feels. So when she saw the story about the teen left at Grady, it hit home.
This young man is probably sitting there terrified because he can't talk.
All of her friends who have kids with Down syndrome immediately started talking, not about how what Diana Elliott allegedly did was wrong, but about how they could help her.
From one mom to another, I am grieving for her, and I want her to know, though, the Down syndrome community, we are not sitting here judging. We are standing behind her. We are ready. We want to help.
Thousands of people reached out to see how they could help the family. Hannah Mathis is a foster mom for special needs kids and thinks Elliott dropped her son off at the hospital because she loves him.
Somewhere where he could get care and he could get food and warmth, and there would be people that would be able to look after him. The other options are so sad and drastic.
She contacted DFACS to see if she could foster the boy until the mom gets back on her feet.
And you're not alone, and he's not alone.
The teen is in the state's custody now, but Hannah and Megan think he should be back with his mom.
Breaking my heart that this poor little boy was probably so terrified and confused.
There are thousands of comments about this story. This child and his family situations really touched a nerve and brought out anger and compassion. This child's mom was desperate. A lot of people are pointing that out. A single mother overwhelmed who couldn't afford to give her children what they need. Judy Rawls writes, "I've seen many parents at breaking points. She left him where she knew he would be cared for. She may have been protecting him. But others are asking how could any mother abandon a child, and they're angry she left him alone, malnourished, found wandering outside of Grady Hospital." Becky Lale says, "I think unless you walk in that mother's shoes, don't judge her. At least she didn't hurt him." Debbie Chapman adds, "Heartbreaking all the way around. I cannot condone abandoning him, but I can accept that she felt desperate. Hopefully, some merciful hand-up solution can be found to get her into a position to support herself and her kids and be reunited with all of them."
And while the definition of special needs varies, one national survey estimates as many as 1 in 5 children between 12 and 17 may require some special care. Advocates say there are resources to help families. Some are even free. The problem is many of those families don't even know about those resources. And on top of that, resources are limited. The Down Syndrome Association says there are about 6,000 people on a waiting list for that kind of help. We've also had a lot of people asking if the safe haven law applies in this situation. The law allows parents to surrender babies at certain locations without facing any charges. So many have been wondering if this law also applies for special needs children or older children. Coming up at 9, we will explain the law in cases like this and why this mother is facing charges.
Well, we've been talking about those changes that we'll be experiencing during the week. So we had the wet day last night and a little bit this morning with some of those showers that came around. Then we had the chance to dry out today, and you can see that indicated here by our moisture map, the purple color indicating the drier air that we have in place right now and all of the moisture that's moving down to the south. So we're in that phase of the activity now with dry air coming in, but it's not going to last for long. We're going to start off dry tomorrow, and I'm really thinking the daytime hours tomorrow will be dry. And then this moisture returns late Monday night, or actually late Thursday night and into Friday. So Friday looks like it's going to be a soggy day. And I know you're thinking, right when we head into the weekend, does that mean it's going to be wet? Well, just as fast as the moisture moves in, it's going to move out again. So that's going to set the stage for a drier weekend. Those temperatures will continue up and down as well. Stay with us. We'll pinpoint that for you coming up in the 7-day outlook.
It is that time of year again. It is flu season, and it's hitting Georgia early this year with the first death already reported here in our state. That is what tops our speed feed tonight. The Georgia Department of Public Health released new numbers for this flu season. According to that report, 132 people have already been hospitalized. The CDC says this season has been particularly bad in the South, and if that worries you, the agency says the solution is all very simple. Get that flu shot. Decatur police are looking for a man who grabbed a female and said, quote, "Come with me." It happened just before 9 last night on Sam Street as the victim was waiting for a ride. She says she ran and she was not hurt. She gave police a description. She says the man was white, in his 40s or 50s, with gray or white thinning hair and a noticeable belly. If you were in the area and saw anything, you were asked to call police. A Walmart employee who disappeared last week is now back at home. Letitia Edwards hadn't been seen since Friday, but police say she is now home and safe. They're still trying to piece together what happened.
A canine officer who bit a vet technician now is still certified a police dog. 2 vet technicians were handling a Fulton County Sheriff's Office canine last week when the dog suddenly attacked one of them, biting her in the arm and then latching onto her face. The police report says the dog held onto her face for at least 2 minutes because nobody inside the Roswell VCA facility knew the dog's command release. The dog understood words in Czech from the European country, and the worker had to be hospitalized. Fulton County says canine Ian has been with the sheriff's office since August of 2017, and he has never had problems prior. The county says a supervisor checked out the dog after the attack and appeared to be fine. He still is certified. He'll be up for his yearly recertification very soon.
A woman is stabbed by another passenger in a Lyft. She tried to escape but was hit by a truck, and incredibly, she survived that hit. Now, South Fulton police are looking for the attacker. Joe Henke spoke to the driver who hit the woman.
I couldn't leave her. I didn't mean to hit her, but I couldn't leave her.
South Fulton police told 11 Alive the woman Tyrone Bush hit was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
I just want to know how she doing, man, because that could have been my daughter.
Late Tuesday night, Bush says he drove down Butner Road near Fair Ridge going 45, the speed limit, and he spotted a car on the side of the road with emergency lights on.
Next thing you know, the girl darted out of the back seat of the car out in front of my truck. And I hit the brakes to try to stop hitting, and I still hit.
South Fulton police say the stopped car was carrying 3 passengers for lift, and one stabbed another during an argument. The victim then ran into the road.
They was trying to kill her. Because the way she was running from them, I know she was running to get away from somebody. But I couldn't stop in time.
Bush says the woman said she was stabbed multiple times. The Lyft driver and one passenger stayed at the scene. Now police are investigating why the woman was stabbed.
We're unsure what the altercation was at this point. They were in the rideshare vehicle at the time of the incident. Like mentioned before, we're still trying to determine the exact location that they were picked up and also their relationship at this point.
In the darkness, Bush says he didn't feel safe as the argument continued.
Hey, they was really yelling and screaming. I don't know who was doing all the yelling and screaming, but they were yelling and screaming, fussing and cussing and all this. I don't know what they were saying, but all I know, I made it back to my truck because I didn't have a weapon. There was too many of them.
Bush waited for police, but remembers watching at least one person walk away before they arrived.
There was a car down the street that pulled up down the street when I got out. It never pulled all the way down here. The people walked down, and then next thing you know, I didn't see them no more.
South Fulton police sergeant tells us they believe the driver and 3 passengers in the Lyft were all women, and they have not been able to ID the suspect or the victim. Investigators are working to get more information from Lyft about that. After leaving office, his focus is to help mold young minds. Coming up, we're catching up with former Governor Jewell to talk about where he's going next.
And don't forget, we are streaming right now on the 11 Alive YouTube channel. You can subscribe and join the conversation in the community section. We have more 11 Alive news in prime time right after the break. Stay with us.
It is a viral message with an alarming message, this one about your pets. It claims those holiday-themed treats on shelves this time of year can cause some serious medical issues for our furry family members. So we had our Verified team look into that. Here's our Jason Puckett.
Christmas and pets, match made in cute picture heaven, right? These precious moments are why this post is so freaky and why it's had more than 250,000 shares on Facebook. It says those Christmas-themed dog treats you see at stores are actually incredibly dangerous, possibly fatal to your dogs. It talks about dangerous chemicals used to clean the toys, then adds concerns of poisonous paint and glue, and a claim that toys can cause intestinal blockages or worse. Our sources, the American Veterinary Medical Association and the FDA. According to the AVMA, claims of dangerous chemicals are hard to prove. They haven't had any reports of dogs getting sick for those reasons. And our research backs that up. There have been some studies done by independent sites, but no official reports or studies. And that's because in the US, dogs aren't treated like humans. There are no oversight groups or agencies monitoring the safety of dog treats or toys. The question of chemicals, that's not verifiable. But this part of the post that rawhide and other chew toys could be causing intestinal problems, that's true. The AVMA says rawhides in general are safe, but they have been known to cause intestinal problems. And the FDA advises avoiding them entirely. Bottom line, this post about dangerous chemicals in dog toys can't be verified, but it is true that some toys like rawhides and bones could be dangerous. Your best bet before you buy is to check for legitimate recalls on chew toys or toy products from reputable groups like the AVMA and the FDA, and ask your local vet.
Well, you remember it was this time last night we were tracking those snow flurries over parts of North and Northwest Georgia as they were moving in, and that transition was taking place from light rain over to snow. Here's a look at the Storm Tracker Thunder Truck. Tyson Paul was our photographer and driver last night in the Thunder Truck. He got out to take a few pictures, and doesn't that look good? Some of those blowing snow flurries that were going over parts of Northwest Georgia last night. This picture was taken in Walker County in Northwest Georgia, really close to the Tennessee line. But yeah, some of those snow flurries, no major problems. There were a few slick spots in some areas early in the morning hours as temperatures got close to freezing, but it wasn't really anything widespread. Now, going through the rest of the evening hours, we're going to watch these temperatures falling from the 40s back into the 30s, and that'll happen, we think, just before midnight, and then after midnight we'll be in those 30s, and then continue to move on down each hour, eventually bottoming out early in the morning with mainly clear skies and temperatures that'll be in the mid-30s. So it's going to be a chilly start. Outside the city, it is possible that we might have some areas that will be right around the freezing mark. So we're in a dry and chilly pattern for now, but the rain is going to return. That's going to be late on Thursday night and into Friday, but just as soon as it moves in, it'll move out, and we'll see some drying coming in once we head into the weekend. So here's a look at the wazometer for your Thursday, a low of 36. It'll be a chilly start, and then highs near 52 with sunshine early and then clouds increasing during the day. On our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day, we're going to go with a 9 on the wazometer. Here you can see what we're watching during the day on Thursday. Mostly sunny skies in the morning, and then really I'm thinking the daytime hours will be mostly sunny. Here you go. Once we get into 5 in the afternoon, you can see these clouds that are building in, coming in from the south and west. So daytime hours will be dry on Thursday, and then this moisture comes in late Thursday night, mainly overnight and into the daytime hours on Friday. We're going to see these waves of rain that'll move in, giving us those showers off and on. It's also going to be a cold rain with high temperatures that will only be in the 40s once we go through the day. The good news is moving into Saturday, that's when we think we'll see some breaks in the action. You can see that rain here on Friday, just kind of off and on showers that'll move through. And then on Saturday, a couple lingering showers early on, but then later in the day, we're thinking that rain is going to move on out. Rainfall amounts we think would be around less than a ½ inch for most of the day tomorrow, and then into Saturday, maybe getting up closer to an inch before it all moves out. So clouds will be on the increase tomorrow, starting off with sunshine early, and then getting up to around 52 degrees with increasing clouds. As we head through the rest of the daytime hours on Friday, that's going to be the cloudy day and also kind of chilly day that we're going to have out there with high temperatures only in the 40s. And then as we move into Saturday, a couple showers early, but it's not going to be a washout for your weekend. I think those showers will move out for the day Saturday, and I think we'll have a lot of dry hours for the second half of the day Saturday. Second half of the weekend looks good. Monday looks good with clouds increasing. I think that rain will hold off late Monday into Tuesday, then dry and chilly again by Wednesday.
In the history of the state, one of the most popular governors ever. 2 successful terms, Georgia's 82nd governor now. Governor Deal is, well, life's a little bit different. It's slowed down for him a bit, still active, but in this week's Whatever Happened To, Nick Sturdivant sits down with Governor Deal in one of his first interviews since leaving office. He talks about life away from his busy duties, and he says it's been a bit of an adjustment.
For 8 years, Nathan Deal called 391 West Paces Ferry Road
in Atlanta home. It's where the state's top leader lives during their term. Now, life is a lot more secluded for former Governor Dill and his wife Sandra here in Habersham County, next to the Chattahoochee River. But these past 11 months have been hardly smooth sailing.
I'm in the process of recuperating from my back surgery that I had 10 days after I left office as governor. And they tell me I'm about 80% recovered.
Dill said he started having back problems near the end of his term. He told me that since his surgery, he has been going to physical therapy and to a personal trainer to regain his balance and strength. That hasn't stopped him from working, though.
So it's a mixture of working, it's a mixture of recovery, and so it's busy, though. We get invited to go to so many things.
Dill will head back to the classroom soon. Mercer University recently appointed him as the Distinguished University Professor of Government.
I guess how special was that? I mean, that is your alma mater.
It is a special place. It gave me a great foundation. It's something that is able to be fitted into my schedule very easily. It will amount to a series of lectures that I'll be asked to do with the goal at the end of a couple of years maybe to compile those lectures into a book.
What do you tell a 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old that will be in your class?
I have to be on my toes to be able to answer their questions. But I think somebody asked me one time, says, well, what is your purpose in going back and being a professor at a university? I said, well, my main purpose is to try to teach young people how to think. If they can think on their own, then they'll be good citizens.
Dill is also an invited guest speaker at the University of North Georgia. You can catch him and his wife Sandra across the metro Atlanta area, from reading to children to speaking engagements. The father of 4 and grandfather of 6 is preparing to spend the holidays with his family.
I guess retirement life, has it been what you thought it would be?
Well, like I say, I don't feel like I've had the normal retirement, but as I said, we have a very busy schedule. So Sandra says, come see us. Just call us before you come, because make sure we're going to be here.
I was part of Leadership Atlanta in 2019, and about 9 or 10 months ago, Governor Deal came and spoke to our group, and he spoke about penal reform and the incarceration of African American men all across the United States, and how he wanted to do something about it. And he is and was the only governor to do something about it. And he was very emotional about the subject, about trying to get men hired once they come out of jail, that nobody wants to touch, many of them, as far as employment. And he has been an advocate for that, a very emotional speech, very touching, a speech that I will never forget. And I guess another moment that I think about Governor Deal was when he was waiting on the moving trucks after winning in 2010, and he had been sworn in 2011. I was there with him, covering the moving trucks coming in, and he was in the garage of the governor's mansion, and he was just very emotional about it, just seeing his possessions come to the governor's mansion, a place that he wanted for so long. A very, very emotional man on subjects of merit and consequence like that, but something that I won't forget either.
Up next, we have new details about a notorious serial killer's rampage across the country, one that includes the murder of a father and a daughter in Georgia. During the summer of 1974, Paul John Knowles crisscrossed the country, stealing cars. He'd raped and strangled and killed victims. He swiped their credit cards and prized possessions. Then he'd pretend to take on the identity of those victims as well.
45 years later, here we are. We're still talking about it, and investigators released new details from one of Knowles' most horrific murders, the killing of a father and daughter in Milledgeville.
Worked a lot of murders, but that was the bloodiest crime scene I'd ever seen. I can still see the blood. I can see it in the bed. I can see him with all his stab wounds. And I was asking the coroner when we were at the funeral home during the autopsy, what were all those marks? Come to find out, he had stabbed him so many times that he broke the tips off the scissors. And those were the stab marks from where the tips were broken on the scissors. He was stabbed so many times he bled through the mattress.
He strangled the daughter, and I believe they said that he tried to have sex with the body after she was killed. It was a gruesome thing. Mr. Carr and Mr. Knowles met at a bar here in Macon, and they went to his home in Milledgeville. And nobody knows the real reason. There's some speculation, but nobody knows the speculation. It might have been a gay encounter.
But he didn't want to admit that he was gay. So he killed him. It's just like committing a burglary. He commits a burglary, and therefore, when he commits the burglary, he has to kill the witness. So if you have a homosexual act, then he has to kill the homosexual. One thing the women said, he was a dud. A big, handsome guy, one could wine and dine you, could get you into the bedroom, but then he couldn't perform.
I'm really surprised that he, quote, has not gotten the notoriety that Ted Bundy got, Charles Manson got, because to me, he was more brutal than Ted Bundy. And he was more brutal than Manson.
Wow.
To learn more about the case and how our investigation may be finding new life after so many years, download the 11 Alive app. There you can watch the full Casanova Killer documentary.
All right, coming up next, a community so concerned about human trafficking that a special class on the subject, it's filled up in just a couple of days. What the police are planning to do now. Lake Lanier has gotten a lot of attention. Of course, as Atlanta Metro's population has grown, it has become a bigger playground, and there are a lot of issues that we talk about here on the news. And certainly the focus has been on some of the horrible days at Lake Lanier and the deaths that we report on during the summer when a lot of people are there. But there has been a tragedy or two that's occurred there during the heart of winter.
And Caitlin Ross takes us back to Christmas Day, 1964, when one of Atlanta's favorite lakes became the site of a tragedy.
I was in the 11th grade, and we were living in the city limits of Cumming.
Martha McConnell is a lifelong resident of Forsyth County. She vividly remembers the day the stretch of road near her childhood home became the site of the deadliest day at Lake Lanier. Her stepdad, in fact, was a witness to it.
He was very upset. He had come across a wreck that involved a family with children.
The Rogers and the Brown families lived in Gainesville and were celebrating Christmas together. It was 1 p.m, and the 4 adults and 7 children piled into the Browns' old 1959 station wagon. They were heading across the lake to get apples before eating their holiday supper.
It was down a slope, and I think he came around a curve and started down, so it would have been very easy to venture off into another lane.
That's exactly what happened when the car hit the 2 Mile Creek Bridge over Lake Lanier on 141. According to police reports from 1964, Johnny Brown picked up speed, clipped a guardrail, hit a power pole, and the car flipped over into the river, with all 11 people still inside.
He jumped out of the car to see if he could help, and he told us that there was what he thought was a doll belonging to one of the children floating in the water.
Martha's stepdad, several other passersby, and local dive teams rescued as many people as they could.
I think he got there just moments after the accident happened.
2 adults and 2 children survived. Everyone else, including 5 children, perished.
I think it just horrified him because there were so many children involved.
Still warm on the stove at home was their Christmas hen, waiting for a holiday dinner that would never happen.
Published reports from 1964 said witnesses told police Johnny Brown had been drinking before he got behind the wheel. You can read more about this story on 11alive.com. There you will also see how crews are tackling dangerous ghost boats that are hidden beneath the lake's surface.
For the last couple of weeks, we have been flooded with claims of human trafficking around Metro Atlanta. Several social media posts went viral with women saying they were approached by strangers at grocery stores and malls. Now, we have verified the claims with police, but they say they have found no evidence, none whatsoever, that it is human trafficking. But still, with the topic so high right now, it's not surprising when Gwinnett Police announced this week that they were hosting an informational class on trafficking. The class quickly filled up. In fact, they hit their 120-person cap in less than 2 days, and now they are planning to offer another class in the spring. The department says the class covers how the community can help fight the problem. In 2018, Georgia reported 375 trafficking cases. Only 6 other states in America had more. For more on this story, visit mylawrencevillenews.com.
We told you earlier in the week about the up and down temperatures that we will be dealing with this week. Now we're in the down part of that and a colder pattern that we're experiencing with temperatures tonight that are going to be cooling down into the 30s overnight, even some areas close to freezing by morning. And you can see that colder air that's spilling down into our area. We will see these temperatures moderate a little bit. We will be back into the 50s during the day tomorrow, or actually 40s tomorrow with a cold rain, and then into the 50s as we head into the weekend. And staying mild, we think, for the weekend. When I say mild, I mean closer to average before the next surge of colder air comes in once we move into next week. So the ups and downs are going to continue. We will also time out what the precipitation will do as these cold and warm waves move our way. We're going to talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Skater Claus came to East Point as I am fighting a pesky head cold. Last week on Primetime, we introduced you to Mark Condit, who has a passion for skateboarding and wants to share it with underprivileged kids. This past weekend, he held his very first skateboard and helmet giveaway at the Ormwood Park apartment complex. He showed up to surprise young skaters. Turns out he was in for the surprise of his own.
My skateboard name is Scorpion. My name's King Lantern. My name Gucci Belt. My skateboard name is The Beast. My name's Snake, the villain. My name Roses.
The flyer said that we were going to get here at noon to serve lunch, and we got here at 11 just to start setting up, and people were already here at 11. It's like 1:30 now, and we've already given out at least 40 skateboards, and we have a bunch of people here who have showed up just to help support the skate community and do some skateboard tricks, and I couldn't be any more pleased with the event.
The guys were coming out to give out skateboards and helmets and teach the kids in the neighborhood how to skate. A lot of these kids don't, sometimes they don't have a lot. You know, some kids don't have skateboards, and if they do, they don't know how to ride it. The fact that they're staying around and doing tricks and teaching them how to ride it and giving them helmets, it's just awesome. It's an awesome situation.
All right? When we talk about skating in the skate park, we call this snaking. You don't want to snake somebody. Snaking means you get in their way, basically, or you take a turn out of turn.
Skateboarding's improved the quality of my life a bunch because I used to get in trouble all the time. And it's ever since I started, you would think I would get in more trouble because, you know, skaters get a bad rap. But, I mean, it's kept me out of a lot of trouble. It just keeps me away from all the negativity.
We got these kids into skating, and I'm pretty certain that there's going to be a trestle tree skateboard crew starting up right now.
All right, got to get helmets on all those kids, though. So what is next for Skater Claus? He hopes to organize another giveaway in the near future. Looks like the kids are having a lot of fun.
As House Democrats ready articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump, a Republican-run Senate committee today hosted the Justice Department's internal watchdog. We have details next. As House Democrats ready the articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump, a Republican-run Senate committee hosted the Justice Department's internal watchdog today.
And they are quizzing right now. They're quizzing him about a new report into an old thorn in the president's side, the Russia investigation. Alice Barr of NBC has the very latest from Washington.
Two congressional committees, two different missions today. On the House side, Democrats preparing for debate tonight on the articles of impeachment that President Trump calls weak.
The president has to make his own kind of defense. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have any facts on his side.
While Senate Republicans take up a separate hearing and a new headline, questioning the Justice Department's Inspector General Michael Horowitz about his report into the origins of the Russia probe.
We found no bias.
Horowitz concluding that the FBI had good reason to open an investigation into possible Russian influence on the Trump campaign during the 2016 election. The findings undercut the president's frequent claims of a witch hunt, but at the same time,
that so many basic and fundamental errors were made by three separate hand-picked investigative teams on one of the most sensitive FBI investigations.
the Inspector General detailing serious mistakes in the court application to monitor an ex-Trump campaign aide, including relying on unverified information. The president claiming something Horowitz did not, tweeting, "They spied on my campaign."
What happened here is not a few irregularities. What happened here is the system failed.
Senator Lindsey Graham echoing the same language Democrats have used against President Trump.
You were able to uncover and discover abuse of power I never believed would actually exist in 2019.
Republicans offering a preview of how they'll defend the president if it comes down to a Senate impeachment trial next month.
Those temperatures are falling out there during the evening hours. Our temperature forecast track shows these temperatures moving into those low 40s, pretty much hovering in the low 40s until around close to midnight, when we'll fall into the 30s. And you can see those temperatures overnight continuing to drop, getting down to about 36 in the morning. I do think here in town and over most of metro Atlanta, we will stay above freezing, but there'll be a couple of pockets that'll be close to freezing. Look at Carrollton, you're at 34. Athens will be around 34. Gainesville, 34. That's above freezing. We do think we'll hit freezing at Rome in the morning at 32 and maybe even 29 degrees to start the day in Dalton. So that's going to be some chilly air to start on Thursday. But then we warm up pretty nicely during the day. We're going to be rising into those 40s around lunchtime and after, and then eventually into the 50s into the afternoon hour. So here's what we're watching on the Wazometer. This is our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. And we start off at 36, get up to 52. These temperatures trending a little bit below the average. So on that scale from 1 to 11, we're going to go with a 9. We start off the day with sunshine, but then we end the day with clouds increasing, and then eventually some rain is going to move our way. Here's the forecast track. You can see during the evening hours tonight, we're going to be clear, and that's where we're going to see those temperatures falling. And by tomorrow morning, it'll be a mostly sunny start with cool air in place. At lunchtime, still some sunshine, but I want you to notice this. Watch this cloud cover coming in from the south and west. That's going to start increasing late afternoon. I'm thinking during the daytime hours here on Thursday, it's going to be dry, but after the sun sets, we'll watch some of this moisture coming in from the south and west. A few of these showers pushing in late here on Thursday night with some of those showers around. You know, and it is possible in northeast Georgia we can have some brief mixing, but it won't cause any issues from what we're seeing right now. Then Friday morning, it's going to be a soggy start with some of these scattered showers around, and that's really going to be a story for a big part of the day on Friday. Off and on showers around. Just when you think things might be ending, another little wave is going to move in here. We'll have that for Friday during the daytime hours. Here's another look at that as we go from Friday night and into Saturday. You can see those next waves that'll push in late on Friday. And then even early on Saturday, a few lingering showers around. But we're really thinking that this rain is going to pretty much be ending during the day on Saturday. So it's not going to be a total washout. We'll see the second half of the day, Saturday, looking pretty good. Rainfall for the first part of the day on Friday, we're thinking this green color indicating less than a ½ inch of rain. But then as more of those waves come in Friday night and into early on Saturday, as it's all said and done, we think there may be parts of North Georgia that could get in the blue color here between a ½ inch and an 1.5 inches of rain, and maybe over on the east side between a ½ inch and an 1.5 inches of rain too. And we'll try to fine tune or be a little more specific about those rainfall totals as the system gets closer to us. So increasing clouds Thursday, a high of 52. Rainy, cold Friday. The rain ends on Saturday, and then looking good Sunday. Monday, though, clouds increase with the rain returning on Tuesday, but then drying out again, cooling off by Wednesday.
Some call her the best blues player that nobody's ever heard of. We're looking at the legend of Beverly "Guitar" Watkins. She opened for Ray Charles, B.B. King, and Lucille, an African-American woman who built her legacy playing the blues. And she spent every year until she died encouraging other women to learn and excel in music. And in this week's Untold Atlanta, Matt Pearl is exploring the life of Beverly "Guitar" Watkins.
In 4 Atlanta locations, 4 Atlanta musicians play the favorite song of the Atlanta legend who played it best.
Was a monster on guitar.
She just wowed everybody.
We call her the queen of the guitar.
It wasn't a joke. And you know, people see her the way they see her now in the videos. And,
my name is Beverly Watkins.
you know, she's a little old. My mama didn't play.
My stage name is Beverly Guitar Watkins.
The videos today of Beverly "Guitar" Watkins rarely extend beyond the past decade. Grace notes of a granny that omit her grind. Born in Atlanta, raised in the country, and welcomed home to blaze trails in the blues.
First of all, she's playing a masculine instrument. You know, you didn't see very many female guitar players back in the day, especially not black female guitar players.
People didn't believe that she was the guitar player unless she made it to the stage. Once she made it to the stage, then it was like, oh,
Watkins wore dresses and sequins. She opened for Ray Charles and B.B. King. A writer once described Watkins as the greatest living blues artist nobody ever heard of.
I've seen Beverly do splits with the guitar. She played that guitar behind her head.
You're like, oh, this is gonna be a sweet show. Oh, bless her heart, kind of thing. And she gets up there and
Watkins made music her life. The music business made it tough.
Do you think she made as much money as she would have made if she was a man?
She probably would have made more. She should have been bigger than what she was.
Instead, Watkins churned out a career and used her later years to cement her trail.
I met Beverly when I was probably about 16 at Girls Rock Camp ATL.
Girls Rock Camp does exactly as its name suggests. Watkins performed every year.
When I joined, I was very lost with who I wanted to be. She was playing guitar behind her back, and I was just like, who is this lady?
Watkins championed female musicians. She became a festival fixture. Videos of her recent exploits brought recognition, even if it never quite arrived in the city she called home.
She would travel all over the world, and she would tell about Atlanta, all the interviews. But when she got back to Atlanta, nobody knew who she was.
Over the summer, Watkins suffered a stroke. On the first day of October, she passed away after 80 years of life.
She didn't get the recognition that she really deserved. You know, she would deserve more. She was great.
Once again, my name is Lola. Tonight's open mic night.
So many in Beverly Watkins' home city never knew her name.
Beverly Guitar Watkins' son is here, Stan Watkins. Y'all show him some love.
Okay, yeah. Those who knew her best are happy to tell of the Atlanta legend who just kept playing.
You eat, you drink water, and you play your music. That's what her life was.
Coming up, a local veteran given a new lease on life with a couple of big surprises. And oh boy, we were there for all the tears of joy.
The story of a local Army veteran now who has dreams off the battlefield, but without a car, those dreams of being a beautician has been very, very difficult to accomplish.
And, you know, a group heard her story and wanted to help with a new ride and a whole lot more. 11 Alive's Jay Plyburn was there for that big surprise.
3, 2, 1.
I wasn't expecting any of this. Honestly, I can't really even put the words to it. I feel so grateful. I feel like there's still good people out there, and I just appreciate it.
We're pleased to present Recycled Ride to Miss Patricia Crenshaw. She has a tremendous story. Spent 2 tours in Iraq and faced many hardships, not only in the battlefield, but once she returned home. And so we were able to meet up with Patricia and provide a vehicle for her. We're looking at a 2015 Nissan Altima. So we have a lot of great partners, vendors throughout the industry that donate extra goods and needs for Patricia and her family. So we're able to present those in the trunk. It's just a little added gift to help restore her rhythm.
I got my shears, I got a Fitbit, I got some gift cards, and the shears mean absolutely everything to me. They're from a very, very great company, Tazori Hanzo, and it's just something that I've always wanted, and I got them, it came right on time. The best Christmas gift ever.
You know, and given everything that she's accomplished, Patricia is currently enrolled in cosmetology school. She says the new car will allow her to get to and from classes, plus anywhere else she needs to go.
It's a lovely story, lovely car. They've done a very nice job recycling that vehicle, as they call it. Man,
beautiful.
Beautiful car.
I mean, this is just the time of year, guys. I love those stories. Any time of year, but especially just during the season of giving, you just get all warm and tingly inside.
Yeah, especially when you can help a veteran. Anytime you can help a veteran, of course, everyone loves that, and so we wish her the best.
And I'm really looking forward to Christmas Day when I walk out and there's a red bow on a brand new Lexus.
Oh, just like those commercials, right?
Yeah, I got you, no problem.
I'm waiting for the Peloton.
Oh, you need the Peloton.
That'll get you in trouble.
Give the gift of Peloton this holiday season. All right, guys, it's almost 9 o'clock, and we have a lot coming up on 11 Alive News Prime Time.
Yeah, this is one of our top stories. A mother spent countless hours with her son as he struggled to breathe. Coming up in the next hour, she describes for us the gruesome picture of what her son faced when he was hospitalized after vaping.
Me Too backlash. Male bosses admit they're reluctant to hire women because of the movement. How does your workplace compare?
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Okay, we're going to begin tonight, folks. Student loan debt remains the top issue among 2020 presidential candidates, and some Democratic candidates propose tuition-free colleges and wiping out student debt.
2 former Georgia State students are already doing what they can to tackle the issue through the creation of their mobile app, Coins.
Elwin Lopez sat down with him today, and Elwin, this could have a huge impact throughout Metro Atlanta.
Yeah, that's right, Ron. Atlanta is number 2 on the list of metro cities with the most debt this year. That's according to LendingTree. Christian Zimmerman was in his early 20s when he and Nate Washington launched the mobile app Coins, which now helps them and others pay off their student debt.
Once I found out that I had that problem, I tried to see, what other people may have run into the same problem, and I found out there was almost all Americans.
$1.6 trillion. That is how much is owed in federal student loans. Each year, nearly 12 million students borrow $100 billion from the federal government to attend a college or trade school.
A lot of what isn't told to parents or students in general is kind of like what can come afterwards, or what you don't know what the repercussions are afterwards.
In just a few years, Zimmerman and Nate Washington have helped more than 60,000 people whittle down their debt with their app Coins.
To date, we've helped people pay off close to $10 million worth of debt so far.
The app can round up your purchases and apply the change toward your debt on a monthly cycle.
If you make a purchase for $3.50, we round it up to $4 and take the 50 cents and automatically apply it to your debt.
A lot of people would argue that, I could just make monthly payments on my own, but most people don't. So we try to help build that habit so you can start to see the impact that you can make by making little changes.
The 2 Georgia State alums say that within the app, you can also talk to a financial advisor while you're in college to better guide you through the repayment options. And we all know that student loans will continue to be a talker throughout the elections, and this isn't an issue that seems to be going away anytime soon. Aisha?
Well, tonight, hundreds of parents are rallying around a mother in jail and the child she left at a hospital.
Yeah, Diana Elliott is charged with first-degree child cruelty after leaving her 14-year-old son alone at Grady Hospital. And He has special needs. He cannot speak. And so she told police that she was overwhelmed living in a hotel caring for him and his 3 younger siblings, and she just didn't know where to turn.
We've received so many questions about Georgia's safe haven law, which allows parents to give up their newborns if they cannot care for them, and whether it applies here in this case. 11 Alive's Doug Richards takes a closer look.
The Georgia legislature passed its first child abandonment law in 2002. It required abandoned newborns to be less than 72 hours old. Parents had to drop them off to staff at a hospital, and parents had to identify themselves. In 2017, the state loosened the law, allowing children up to 30 days old to be dropped off to hospital, fire, or police station staff, and parents could decline to answer questions.
The law is the way it's written in the state of Georgia is you need to hand it to a person.
Sarah Keppen leads a nonprofit that handles abandoned children.
She has every right to give as much information as she's willing to. But she also has the right within the law to give no information if she can't for some reason or doesn't want to.
No safe haven law covers children older than 30 days. But Keppen says the state has revised its adoption laws. The law now allows a parent to give up a child at any age to the state or an adoption agency or an adoption attorney at no charge. Keppen says adoption attorneys will also protect the anonymity of parents.
We have the families. Families is not the issue. We have the laws in place. That's not the issue. It's getting the information out to the person that may be living on the streets on a cold night, that may be in a desperate situation.
So Keppen says the woman charged in the Grady case had some other options if she had known to take them. But she also says people inclined to judge that mom harshly should also consider that her son is now someplace where people are trying to figure out how to help him.
And while the state does offer resources to parents like this mom, some of them are free, but the resources are limited. An advocacy group told us that there are 6,000 people on that waiting list for help. And so many families can relate to this struggle. The 14-year-old boy who was left at the hospital, as you know, is now left in the custody of the state. Caitlin Ross spoke with the people who are now trying to support the mom.
It's breaking my heart that this poor little boy was probably so terrified and confused.
Diana Elliott is accused of leaving her teen son at Grady without telling anyone who he was days ago. Police say he is nonverbal and couldn't tell officers his name. When they tracked his mother down, she was living in a hotel with 3 other young children and said she was just overwhelmed. I talked to the parents of other children who are nonverbal with Down syndrome who say they understand the mom's desperation.
From one mom to another, I am grieving for her, and I want her to know, though, the Down syndrome community, we are not sitting here judging. We are standing behind her. We are ready. We want to help.
They're now trying to raise money and collect donations to help her get out of jail and get her family back on their feet.
I'm devastated for this mom because I'm reading these comments of people judging so quickly. None of us are perfect. There is not a perfect human being in this world.
The response to this story has been enormous. A lot of people saying this 14-year-old and what happened to him speaks to some difficult realities in our city. Families living in poverty and the need for more resources for children with special needs. No one knows all this mother faced. A lot of people are pointing that out. Mary Capps Harden writes, until you have walked in their shoes, do not judge. While it is awful to think of a special needs child wandering outside Grady Hospital alone, others see a mother who was trying to get her son to a place that could provide what she could not. Shauna Murphy says, can we just take a second and applaud her for taking that child to a hospital knowing she could not care for him? So many others do not do that. Many are also thinking of this child's siblings, as their mom is now in jail 2 weeks before Christmas. I hope someone provides love to those children. Debbie Chapman hopes this mom can get the support she needs to eventually take care of her kids and be reunited.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. Just took a little bit of water here. You know, I'm still coughing out there. And what you see here on the screen, this is my phone set up on this post here. I'm in the middle of a Facebook Live right now. So while I'm talking to you on TV, I'm also talking to these folks right here on Facebook Live. And we're talking about the temperatures and the moon. Brenda Arrington says the moon is gorgeous. Yes, it is going to be a full moon tonight during the overnight hours. I mean, it's almost full right now, but it'll be at full disk tonight at 12:12. Now take a look at these temperatures that we have around North Georgia, and it's 43 degrees. So if you go out to take a look at the moon, it is kind of chilly out there. We have some 30s in Marietta, 39 there, 37 in Canton, and 35 in Rome, 29 right now in Blairsville. So it's feeling pretty chilly. As we go through the rest of the nighttime hours, we're going to see these temperatures falling. I think here in town, we'll hold in the 40s till about 11 o'clock, and then after 11, we move into the 30s. We'll be at 38 at 1, dropping down to 36 in the morning, clear skies. And then tomorrow, we start off with sunshine, but then the clouds build in late in the day. And yeah, eventually some rain will move our way. We'll track the timing of that rain for the end of the week and talk about when it'll move out during the weekend in just a few minutes.
4 minutes, sir. Topping our speed feed tonight, folks, visitors given the all clear to return to Grady Hospital, but it's not completely back to business as usual just yet. A pipe burst flooding several floors at Grady over the weekend. At least 75 patients were moved to other hospitals. And right now, ambulances cannot take people to Grady's ER, putting more stress on hospitals like Northside, Emory, and Piedmont. Repairs on the pipe were completed Monday, and visitation restrictions were lifted yesterday. And we're being told that electrical repairs could take another 3 weeks, and it could take several months to completely restore all the damaged patient rooms. The most significant pay raises in 15 years. Today, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms unveiled a $15.6 million plan to increase pay for Atlanta's firefighters. It's going to take effect over the next 3.5 years. Coupled with the previous increases, officials say this represents a 25% increase in firefighters' base pay. They hope it's going to improve Atlanta's ability to recruit and keep those firefighters. City officials say it's not going to happen. It can't happen without raising. It will happen without raising taxes, so that's good news. People who live in East Point are getting the first look at plans for a downtown redevelopment site. And this is a lot right on the corner of Washington Boulevard and Church Street. It was once a thriving Volkswagen dealership, but sat abandoned for more than a decade. Now the plan is to build homes, townhomes, and stores in that space. The developer's next step is filing a formal rezoning application with the city.
All right, this story is wild. A woman is stabbed by another passenger in a lift. She tried to escape but was hit by a truck. Incredibly, she survived. Now, South Fulton police are looking for the attacker. Joe Henke talked to the driver who hit her.
I couldn't leave her. I didn't mean to hit her, but I couldn't leave her.
South Fulton police told 11 Alive the woman Tyrone Bush hit was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
I just want to know how she's doing, man, because that could have been my daughter.
Late Tuesday night, Bush says he drove down Butner Road near Fair Ridge going 45, the speed limit, and he spotted a car on the side of the road with emergency lights on.
Next thing you know, the girl darted out of the back seat of the car, out in front of my truck. And I hit the brakes to try to stop her hitting, and I still hit.
South Fulton police say the stopped car was carrying 3 passengers for lift, and one stabbed another during an argument. The victim then ran into the road.
They was trying to kill her. Because the way she was running from them, I know she was fighting, wanting to get away from somebody. But I couldn't stop in time.
Bush says the woman said she was stabbed multiple times. The Lyft driver and one passenger stayed at the scene. Now police are investigating why the woman was stabbed.
We're unsure what the altercation was at this point. They were in the rideshare vehicle at the time of the incident. Like mentioned before, we're still trying to determine the exact location that they were picked up and also their relationship at this point.
In the darkness, Bush says he didn't feel safe as the argument continued.
Hey, they was really yelling and screaming. I don't know who was doing all the yelling and screaming, but they were yelling and screaming, fussing and cussing and all this. I don't know what they were saying, but all I know, I made it back to my truck because I didn't have a weapon. There was too many of them.
Bush waited for police, but remembers watching at least one person walk away before they arrived.
There was a car down the street that pulled up down the street when I got out. It never pulled all the way down here. The people walked down, and then next thing you know, I didn't see them no more.
A South Fulton police sergeant says they believe the driver and the passengers in the lift were all women, but they haven't been able to ID the suspect or victim. Investigators are sending a subpoena to Lyft as they try to get more information.
All right, straight ahead, the new details about a notorious serial killer's rampage across the country. One that includes the murder of a father and daughter right here in Georgia. And check this out, Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb is live on Facebook as we speak, taking in your weather questions. And you can join the conversation right now on his Facebook page. We're going to catch up with him after the break.
And don't forget, we're streaming right now on the 11 Alive YouTube channel. Subscribe and join the conversation in the community section. We've got more 11 Alive news and prime time after the break. During the summer of 1974, Paul John Knowles crisscrossed the country stealing cars. He'd rape, strangle, and kill victims. He swiped their credit cards and prized possessions. Then he'd pretend to take on the identity of his victims.
And so now, 45 years later, investigators release new details from one of Knowles' most gruesome murders, the killing of a father and daughter in Georgia.
Worked a lot of murders, but that was the bloodiest crime scene I'd ever seen. I can still see the blood. I can see it in the bed. I can see him with all his stab wounds. And I was asking the coroner when we were at the funeral home doing the autopsy, what were all those marks? Come to find out, he had stabbed him so many times that he broke the tips off the scissors. And those were the stab marks from where the tips were broken on the scissors. He was stabbed so many times, he bled through the mattress.
He strangled the daughter, and I believe they said that he tried to have sex with the body after she was killed. It was a gruesome thing. Mr. Carr and Mr. Knowles met at a bar here in Macon, and they went to his home in Milledgeville. And nobody knows the real reason. There's some speculation, but nobody knows. The speculation, it might have been a gay encounter.
But he didn't want to admit that he was gay. So he killed him. It's just like committing a burglary. He commits a burglary, and therefore, when he commits the burglary, he has to kill the witness. So if you have a homosexual act, then he has to kill the homosexual. One thing the women said, he was a dud. A big, handsome guy, one could wine and dine you, could get you into the bedroom, but then he couldn't perform.
I'm really surprised that he, quote, has not gotten the notoriety that Ted Bundy got, Charles Manson got, because to me, he was more brutal than Ted Bundy. And he was more brutal than Manson.
To learn more about the case and how our investigation could be finding a new life after so many years, download the 11 Alive app. There you can watch the full Casanova Killer documentary.
Hey everybody, once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb here live in the 11 Alive Storm Tracker Center. Hold on this camera with me just for a minute because I'm talking right now on this phone. I'm talking to you on TV as well as you on the phone here doing a Facebook Live. I've been doing this since about 9 o'clock tonight chatting with our viewers. If you want to hop on, just go to my Facebook page, Chris Holcomb, Chris Holcomb 11 Alive on Facebook, and you can get on this Facebook Live and ask questions as well. We've had a lot of questions about the cold. When is it going to rain again? We've been discussing that, timing it out. We have also had some questions here about the moon tonight. Where we have the full moon that's taking place. A lot of people are saying they want to go out and see the moon, but it's cold. Terry Coker says 38 degrees in Cartersville. Will we see any flurries? Not tonight, Terry. We won't see any flurries there tonight. John Whitmire says, Chris, thanks for keeping us informed. What about Gainesville, Georgia? Any snow showers tonight? No, we're not really worried about any precip in our area tonight. We have clear skies, not worried about snow anywhere over North Georgia tonight. It was last night when we were tracking some of those flurries around. Let's take a look at this. Take this picture full right now, and you can see, speaking of full, we have a full moon that is taking place during the overnight hours tonight. Now, I know that when you go out there and look at it, it does look like it's a full moon, and it is pretty much a full moon right now, or almost a full moon, but it'll actually be at full disk later on tonight. Now, the cool thing about this is it'll be at full disk at 12/12 on December 12th. So it'll be full at 12/12 on 12/12. So that's kind of cool. It's not only the last full moon of the year, this is the last full moon of the decade. So a lot of folks on my Facebook Live were telling me they went out to look at it. However, it was very cold out there looking at the full moon, and the viewing conditions are good. We don't have any clouds around out there for that. Look at these pictures. Wasn't it a beautiful day? Once we got rid of the clouds earlier this morning, we had nice clear skies with some sunshine this afternoon. After the sunset, Bill Honea and Noonan took this picture. Really nice there with the water. And then a lot of people on Facebook Live have also been commenting on the beautiful blue color of the sky today with the clear skies, great visibility. This is a picture sent in by one of our 11 Alive community storm trackers, Mary Beth Etheridge in Stockbridge. But right now, folks, it's cold, and with that clear sky, we're seeing those temperatures falling tonight. Wide range of temperatures, 35 in Peachtree City. We're 43 here, 38 in Athens, but 28 right now up in the Blairsville area. We're going to watch these temperatures tonight cooling down. I don't think we're going to hit freezing in Atlanta. We'll be at 36, mid-30s around metro Atlanta, but some freezing temperatures in North Georgia. Then we start warming up tomorrow, eventually getting up into those 50s, right around 52 degrees. We'll give that a 9 on the wasometer. And we're going to stay dry for Thursday, but during the day Thursday, you'll see some clouds as they start to build into our area with increasing clouds. And then the rain looks like it's going to hold off until late Friday into early Saturday, then ending Saturday with drier weather pushing our way. Sunday looks good. Monday, increasing clouds again with rain late, and then a better chance for showers Tuesday, clearing off and cooling as well on Wednesday with highs right around 51 degrees.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. A local nonprofit organization is now spreading lots of cheer this holiday season. Join the Flock helps cancer patients overcome a major financial burden. Hope Forward explains how the charity's spirit of giving caught Ellen's attention.
Jennifer Lazo had a beautiful smile. It was the first thing her husband Mario noticed.
She was able to light up a room just walking in, just smiling.
A megawatt smile and a high-level desire to help people. Mario loved watching her give back over their 19 years together. And still he was amazed when she decided to start a charity while in the middle of a 4-year battle with breast cancer.
That tells you who she was. She was always trying to help.
Cancer made Jennifer wonder, what is my purpose in life? Jennifer reconnected with 2 old friends, Keely and Jason Simpson, and they started Join the Flock to help cancer patients pay for their mortgage for 1 month. Last year, they raised more than $7,000 and helped 13 families.
Just giving them that moment of joy, it changed my life, to be honest with you.
One of those recipients was Tierney Langdon.
I tell people I've always been a healthy person, and I was under the impression that if I stayed healthy, that cancer couldn't get me. And that's not true at all.
Tierney received the donation right after her husband lost his job.
We might have not had a roof over our head. I didn't know how much that gift was going to mean to me until now, sitting in this chair.
Tierney is in remission, grateful to have come this far in her battle. Jennifer, however, didn't. She died earlier this year. Before she passed, Jennifer sent a letter to the Ellen DeGeneres Show, hoping the charity was recognized. After her death, Keely sent another letter, and this time, the show responded.
Anytime someone as special as Ellen recognizes your charity, I think it legitimizes it in such a way.
Mario thinks the show appearance is just another smile from the love of his life.
Jennifer moving her pieces from heaven
All right, thanks a lot, Hope. Keeley appeared on Ellen's Greatest Night of Giveaways earlier tonight on 11 Alive and NBC. And if you want to nominate a family to receive a gift, you can find those details on 11alive.com.
A controversial study about workplace culture, why some male bosses say they're reluctant to hire women. What's up with that? We'll explain next. In the wake of the Me Too movement, new studies suggest some men are now afraid to hire, take meetings with, or mentor women. And now it's causing soccer star Megan Rapinoe to speak out. Caitlin Ross, Cheryl Preheim, and I talked about it on our digital series, Alive at 5. Let's check out part of that conversation.
Soccer star Megan Rapinoe. This is a conversation she had about women's rights the same week she got great news and a big honor. Earlier this week, she was named Sports Illustrated's Sports Person of the Year. It's for her performance on the field and her efforts to fight inequality off the field. She's just the fourth woman in 66 years to win this award outright.
Now, since the announcement, Rapinoe has kept quiet, that is, until now. She actually spoke with reporters from CNBC, commenting on a controversial study, this one coming out of the University of Houston. So this study says they polled 152 men, the researchers here. They found 21% of men are reluctant to hire women for jobs involving close interpersonal interactions. 27% say that they avoid one-on-one meetings with female colleagues. The data comes at the height of the Me Too movement, and researchers say the results are a really direct byproduct of that movement.
So someone who was interviewing Megan Rapinoe asked her about this, and she was furious. She says most men know how to treat a woman appropriately and with respect. How would they treat a sister, mother, or wife? And that she does not buy at all that men here are just oblivious and somehow the victims. She adds the data is really just a cop-out, an excuse she feels for some men not to hire women because they don't want to have to deal with this, and it puts all the responsibility and burden back on women once again.
Yeah, but people get really mad about this. I posted it on my Facebook page, and you should have seen, I mean, people were firing back and forth at each other really, really quickly. We'll start with Molly, who says, if a man's afraid to hire a woman because of this, He is part of the problem. CK is the next one to weigh in, who says the only way that makes a man uncomfortable in hiring a woman is if he thinks that type of behavior is acceptable, or he doesn't believe the women speaking up and labels them as liars or too sensitive. Both of those views are a huge part of the problem. But Lisa kind of understands where this data comes from. She says this may seem weird coming from a woman, but I wouldn't blame them if they were. With as easily offended folks as people are these days, anything can be taken the wrong way, and then you find yourself in a lawsuit.
That's concerning, I think, because any job you're going to have one-on-one conversations, and there should always be a level of appropriateness and respect.
Yeah.
And you would think that's the baseline, but clearly it has not been for generations and
Just
generations.
human decency, professionalism, decorum, just, overall how you handle yourself. I remember the big article that blew up about Vice President Mike Pence not accepting meetings or lunches with women without his wife being present, and a lot of people were talking about that. I think it's the boundaries that you set up, sure, within your home, but when we talk about professional, I think you just leave it at that. We want to hear from you on this one. You can leave your thoughts in the comments section of the video on the 11 Alive YouTube page.
Up next.
I felt like this was a nightmare, like this was a never-ending nightmare.
America's vaping crisis.
I never knew my son was doing it. I'm a mom and a nurse.
A Reveal investigation coming up on Primetime on WATL.
Welcome to The Reveal on Primetime. I'm investigative reporter Rebecca Lindstrom. 2019 will be known as the year the public perception of vaping changed. While it's still considered a safer alternative than smoking, it is not without its risks. The habit has caused severe lung injury in nearly 2,300 people and killed nearly 50 others. While the Centers for Disease Control believes it has identified the primary cause, the impact on so many here in Georgia will last a lifetime. It was a 4th of July weekend, a family day on the lake.
My son said, "Mom, I'm having a hard time breathing. I'm short of breath, and I feel like I'm having a heart attack." I'm like, "Oh, you're 17 years old."
Amy, a nurse at Northside, wrote it off as a minor respiratory infection. But the next day, she stood in her own emergency room watching as he struggled to breathe.
The doctor comes in and says his lung has collapsed.
The next 4 days were a blur of tubes and chest x-rays, but his lung would not expand.
So the cardiothoracic surgeon came in and says to my son, "Have you been vaping?"
And was that the first time anyone had asked this question?
Yes.
Amy said she then understood why her son, who we have been asked not to identify, was also acting so strange. He was going through nicotine withdrawal.
He was sweating, shaking. He said he felt like he was coming out of his skin with anxiety.
Amy's son had been vaping for a year and a half, the last 6 months heavily.
I never knew my son was doing it. I'm a mom and a nurse.
Stable, the hospital sent her son home to recover, but less than 24 hours later,
I felt like this was a nightmare, like this was a never-ending nightmare. I was like, how can this be?
his left lung had also collapsed. This is an image from inside his rib cage. You're not supposed to see those ribs.
No, this lung right here should be expanded out through the entire cavity. The pulmonologist told me that in 22 years of practice, she had never seen bilateral collapsed lungs. She said this is undocumented for bilateral collapsed lungs.
Related to vaping.
Relating to vaping.
Doctors have seen a lot since then. Remember, this was July. The crisis didn't trigger the Centers for Disease Control to open its emergency command center until September.
He is angry about it.
Who's he angry with?
He's angry at the manufacturers of this crap that's on the market. That's what he tells me all the time. He goes, Mom, how can they sell that?
Vape products are unregulated. A federal lawsuit is forcing manufacturers to come to compliance by May 2020 with rules put in place by the FDA more than 3 years ago. But companies defend their products now, saying they were never intended for teenagers.
Really, do you know any adult that would walk into a vape shop and say, yeah, I'd like to try unicorn poop?
Internal emails obtained by the reveal show Jewell paid large sums, $10,000, $89,000, even $134,000 to gain access to students in states like California, Maryland, and Arizona. A congressional subcommittee characterized the company's efforts as a sophisticated program that targeted teenagers and children as young as 8 years old. In one instance, Jewell representatives told students their product was totally safe and even demonstrated to the kids how to use a Jewell.
For my classmates who were already vaping, it was a sigh of relief because now they were able to vape without any concern.
Some of those students testified on Capitol Hill.
Now they thought it was just a flavor device.
In response, a Jewell spokesperson said, "We never designed our marketing to appeal to youth. That is why we're focusing on taking aggressive actions to reduce the access and appeal of our products." But for this teen, the damage is already done.
I think he has PTSD from it. I mean, he stayed in the hospital for 11 days. He had over 15 chest x-rays. He went through surgery, bilateral lungs, and not to mention the cost. My medical bills are over $180,000.
Her son's lungs were covered in blebs. You can see the blisters here on one of his lungs.
The bleb is from the heated vapor. It's a blister, and the blisters pop,
allowing air to escape. Her son ended up having surgery, the tops of his lungs literally stapled to his chest wall. Amy remembers the night before his procedure.
He looks over at me and he says, am I going to die? Am I going to make it through this?
Amy's son says he never purchased vape products with THC, but says he would often share e-cigarettes with his friends to try out a new additive or flavor. He never thought to ask what was in them because until this summer, he always assumed it was safe to vape.
In our first half hour between 9 and 9:30, we were talking to you about the full moon out there tonight. We've been getting in some nice pictures. We were talking about it on social media, on my Facebook Live a little bit earlier, and about how tonight the moon will become full disk at 12:12 a.m., and that's on December 12th, or 12/12. So at 12:12 a.m., it'll be at full disk on 12/12. And this is a shot from Scott Anna. This is up in Choistoy, up in North Georgia in Union County. Beautiful shot of the moon. And then look at this. This is a picture from Bill Honea down in Noonan. Now that's a close-up right there. You can see so much of the structure there of the moon. So that's a really cool look at tonight's full moon as well. We have great visibility. If you're going out to look at the moon, it's not really anything special. It just looks like a regular full moon out there, but it's kind of cool to see the last full moon of the year and the last full moon of the decade. If you're out there watching, though, it's chilly. 43 in Atlanta, 41 in Duluth and Gainesville, but we have a lot of 30s in the outlying areas. These temperatures continue to fall tonight. I do think we'll stay just above freezing here in town, but stay with us. We had an opportunity to dry out today, but the rain is coming back. We'll show you the timing of that in just a few minutes.
The flu season is hitting Georgia early with the first death already reported here in our state. Nothing to play with. It tops our speed feed. The Georgia Department of Public Health just released new numbers for this flu season. According to the report, 132 people have been hospitalized so far. The CDC says this season has been particularly bad in the South. And if it worries you, it says the solution is real simple. Get a flu vaccine. Decatur police are looking for a man who grabbed a female and said, "Come with me." It happened just before 9 last night on Sam Street as the victim was waiting for a ride. She says she ran away and was not hurt. She told police the man was white, in his 40s or 50s, with gray or thinning hair and a noticeable belly. If you were in the area and saw anything around that time, please give police a call. A Walmart employee who disappeared last week is now back home. Letitia Edwards hadn't been seen since Friday, but police say she's home safe now. They're still trying to piece together exactly what happened.
All right, you've probably seen Kristen Dahlgren on the Today Show or Nightly News, but off camera she's been battling a health crisis, and she credits a story she did for NBC News with saving her life. So by sharing her story, she hopes she can help someone else.
We're gonna race you to the swing.
Breast cancer was the last thing on my mind. I'm in my 40s, I'm active, we don't really have a family history. Oh, good job. And most importantly, I had just had a screening mammogram that was negative back in April. And then a story I had done a few years ago really saved my life.
NBC's Kristen Dahlgren with more on the
I thought it was just a routine assignment, a new breast cancer study.
There's a very bright area in the center of her left breast. What this new study tells us is it's profoundly important to be aware of your breasts.
So I interviewed this doctor. She talked about women looking for other changes in their breast, a dimple, a dent, any discharge, things like that. And I remember at the time thinking, this story is going to save lives. And I just had no idea that the life it would save would be mine. Fast forward, it was my 47th birthday, and I was getting ready to go out and meet friends. And I noticed sort of a dent in my breast. And I felt something under it, but I wouldn't say it felt like a lump. It was more like a thickening. It just felt different than everywhere else. I thought back to that story, and I knew that I needed to see a doctor.
Okay. Is this one going in Stacy's car?
Mandatory evacuation. But then life got really busy. I was sent to cover a hurricane the next day. There was just one main road along the Outer Banks. And my husband really encouraged me while I was gone to try and find a place there that I could get a mammogram done. And so literally in between live shots, I ran to the local hospital and they did a mammogram. And within days, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. It's like a kick in the gut. I have a 3-year-old. I have a lot to live for. One more. And it's definitely been the hardest thing I've ever been through. It's scary. It's really scary.
Okay, so here we are at chemo. I've just been feeling a little tired. The hair is gone, but it seems that the tumors are shrinking, so it's doing its job.
I'm generally a super private person. I don't like to talk about myself a lot. My thinking is, if that story saved my life, then maybe it can save someone else's. And if one person sees this and notices a change in their breast and goes and gets it checked out, if one person is saved by that, then it makes it worth it to share my struggle.
Well, here is a bit of holiday magic in Metro Atlanta coming up in alleyway that turns into a pop-up shop for local businesses.
I'm Francesca Emmerker with the A Scene, and we are taking you to the red carpet. Stars gathered for the Atlanta premiere of Richard Jewell, the movie, but did Clint Eastwood and the cast answer my questions about the movie's controversy? I'll have the details for you coming up in the A Scene.
For more
So what started as just a dream in Lawrenceville turned into a celebration for local women, business owners, and their products.
The NV Bath Body Bar invites artists to pick a shelf and place their product for purchase. 11 Alive's Brittany Klein-Peter explains.
Calming, relaxing, indulgent. The smell is wonderful. That's what I think brings everybody back.
So I'm standing in downtown Lawrenceville in front of the Bath Body Bar that actually used to be an alleyway in between McRae's and Republic, two restaurants down here. Now, though, it's a hallway of healing salt scrubs, bath body products, and the coolest part about it all is the owner is all about having a local business that promotes only local businesses.
Because I think that staying within your community and showcasing your community is better than big business. NV is a local bath and body indulgent shop.
This particular crafter
needed to lose weight. This is how she got started. She was a nurse, and then she decided to come and do this full time. So we carry an array of her products. She started playing with the hemp oil in her kitchen to bring a product that was more for your skin. They're a farm, a self-sustaining farm, and they use goat's milk in their products. She is using wonderful products, and she's local. This is exactly why we opened our doors, was to support women, local crafters, and give them a place where they can display their art.
All right, well, you can learn more about this story on mylawrencevillenews.com. Chris?
Temperatures today were pretty comfortable. You know, we were a little bit below the average. We got up to 53 degrees this afternoon after a chilly start this morning. Once that moisture moved out, that little bit of rain that came through pushed out of here, the colder air really settled in. We got down to 35 this morning. That's actually a couple degrees below where we should be for this time of year. We should be at 37. And our high this afternoon was a couple degrees below where we should be as well. We only had 1/100th of an inch of rain since midnight last night. Didn't really help our deficit out that much. We're about a little bit less than 8.5 inches below where we should be in rainfall for the year. We do have more rain that's going to be coming our way. We also have cold air in place, and it's going to be chilly overnight. We're going to right now be at 43 degrees. Outside the city, we've got a lot of 30s around. Athens is at 38, 35 in Peachtree City and in Rome, even 20s right now in Blairsville. With this clear sky, we often see wide ranges of temperatures out there with different areas cooling off faster than others. And here in Atlanta, we'll move down into the mid-30s here by tomorrow morning with that clear sky. We're going to start off the day with sunshine, but then the second half of the day, we'll see a few more clouds that'll be moving our way. So it's going to be dry and chilly to start the day tomorrow. Clouds increase, and then some rain returns as early as tomorrow evening. It's mainly going to be overnight tomorrow night into Friday, but then as it moves in, it will move out for the Saturday morning. We'll see a couple of showers around, and then that all dries out once we go into the afternoon hour. So here's the timeline of what we're watching. Thursday morning, we're going to see some sunshine, starting off with that sunny sky, but it's going to be chilly. Temperatures in the 30s, mid-30s here in Atlanta, a little cooler in the outlying areas. Then by the afternoon hours, still mostly sunny. Temperatures get up into the 50s for the afternoon hours, but then the clouds start building in during the evening hours. Showers start pushing in from the south on Thursday evening with temperatures that'll stay on the mild side. Then on Friday, it's going to be a cold rain. We're going to see showers off and on at any time during the day on Friday, and temperatures in the upper 40s. So it's going to be kind of chilly and raw during the day on Friday with those showers. But it improves on Saturday. We'll have a few showers early, and then it'll be clearing out late in the day, and then that sets the stage for a nice second half of the weekend, where it's going to be dry and nice on Sunday with those temperatures that move into the 50s. Here's the timeline of what we're watching. The clear sky out there tonight in the morning, starting off with mostly sunny skies, and then in the afternoon, at lunchtime, still mostly sunny, but then here comes that cloud cover. This is going to start increasing during the late afternoon hours. Here we are at 5 o'clock. No rain here in Atlanta, but on the south side, we could even begin to see a few of those showers pushing in, and then some of those scattered showers, excuse me, develop here during the evening hours, and we'll watch with this wedge of cooler air. Some chilly air up there might cause some mixing up in the mountains of North Georgia, but then it warms up and it just turns into all rain, and then more of these waves of rain coming in during the day on Friday with those temperatures that will hold only in the 40s at 49 degrees. Still a slight chance for showers early Saturday, then the rain moves out of here. Will dry out for the second half of the day Saturday. Sunday looking good, partly cloudy and 60, 63 on Monday, but clouds increase again with showers late. Tuesday, some showers, but then we clear out again Wednesday. Cooling off, though, too, with lows back to the 30s and highs in the lower 50s.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Wednesday's edition of the A Scene, and we are kicking off with a look at the red carpet from the hit movie Richard Jewell that was filmed right here in Georgia. I got a chance to speak with director Clint Eastwood about the film, and of course, this is the one about the 1996 bombing that happened in Atlanta. I spoke to Eastwood and the stars of the movie about the Georgia Film Project and questioned him about the controversial portrayal of AJC reporter Kathy Scruggs. The film infers she slept with the lead FBI agent to learn of the lead suspect in the bombing. There is a little backlash about Olivia Wilde's character. What do you have to say to those critics who say not enough research was done for Kathy Scruggs' character?
Well, there's only so much research you could do. You can't live inside the people because they no longer exist. You know, we know as much as anybody knows. Kathy Scruggs was a very interesting personality, and she seemed and she did find the answer to it. So how she did it, nobody probably will ever really know.
This project's been around for about 5 years and was a very famous screenplay with, Jonah and Leo attached at one point. So they could have done their digging. It feels like a last-minute thing by the AJC. And while I appreciate their opinion, I'm not going to let it be a shroud or a shadow over the celebration of this moment for the Jewell family.
It's my understanding that the people that are making these accusations haven't even seen the film yet. So I kind of feel like the irony of that is sort of ridiculous. But Kathy is portrayed by Olivia in this film just as she was, which is an incredibly nuanced individual. To reduce her to this one thing, I think, is not fair.
And again, the AJC is calling the portrayal baseless. There's talk of even a possible lawsuit. They even want a disclaimer in the movie. The movie comes out nationwide this Friday. And there are some apartments that Eastwood did mention in our full interview, and they're actually located right on Buford Highway. For more of the AC, make sure you head on over to 11alive.com/theAC, and especially if you want to see the full interviews between myself and the entire cast of the movie from last night. So head on over and let us know what you think.
Coming up next on Primetime, a holiday surprise one Georgia waitress will never forget. This next story has a lot of people commenting on our YouTube community page.
Yeah, this is so cool, folks. So a Georgia waitress got a holiday surprise of a lifetime on the job. Janet Ballard served 11 people at a Dublin Cracker Barrel. She did so well that each person tipped her $100. Do the math, that's $1,100. Ballard asked why. Well, they told her because she's doing such a great job.
This story has gotten nearly 1,000 reactions from our community subscribers. Kim posts thank God there are still good people in this world. And Omar says it is a beautiful world if we can all spread the love. We are Where Atlanta Speaks, so you can go ahead and join the conversation right now on the community section of our YouTube page.
That is so awesome, just seeing her in tears and so grateful for what they did.
You know, and it's interesting. I read something else recently about a kind of a new thing that a lot of people are doing. They get a group of people together and say, bring $100.
Oh.
Just bring $100. We're going to go eat and just get something kind of little. But then everybody takes what is left over. Like, say you buy something for $22.
Yeah.
But then you take your leftover $100.
And that's what you
put it
leave.
all together for the tip.
So
awesome. I love
Did they,
that
a group
idea.
of people just do $100, get something cheap to eat, and make a server's day? You know, just really cool.
That is an awesome idea.
Yeah.
That's a movement I can get behind.
That's probably a similar thing they did, but they all did $100. So you can do it any way you want to.
Awesome.
So let's go do that. All right. Here's your weather. Cold air out there tomorrow, 52 for a high. Rain coming in on Friday. Late Thursday night into Friday, ending early Saturday. Sunday looks good. Monday looking okay. Showers return Tuesday, then it's cold and dry again by Wednesday.
All right, Ron and I, we're going to see you on Up Late over on 11 Alive, but stick around, more prime time coming up at 10.
"11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Developing tonight, a new crime trend across our area.
And criminals are stealing fiber optic cable. They're selling it for money. And police tell us that these crimes have happened in 5 cities: Snellville, McDonough, Albany, and Augusta. Most of the criminals are targeting AT&T locations, including the most recent. Last night in Covington, Hope Ford joins us now. She has all the details. Hope?
Yeah, so remember when criminals used to steal copper to sell? Well, police tell me now they're after fiber optic cable and the tools used to cut it. And we have the surveillance video from the latest hit. At least 2 people pull up beside this AT&T parking lot off Industrial Parkway in Covington. Captain Ken Malcolm tells me they parked on the side of the building and got in through a fence. 40 to 50 of these trucks and trailers were broken into, but when the thieves tried to get high-dollar items, they failed.
Their intent was to get much more expensive fiber optic equipment, fusion splicers that are worth anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000.
The thieves normally sell the items on the black market or dark web, and because of an uptick in theft, AT&T employees stopped leaving equipment in vehicles.
AT&T has been very vigilant in protecting this expensive equipment.
Malcolm says these criminals were professionals and spent an hour going through vehicles. The captain thinks the crime could be connected to fiber optic thefts in other cities, but can't say for sure. Police are now stepping up patrols around those businesses dealing with the cables. And an employee at the AT&T building told me today they have their own security team tracking the thieves down as well. And Covington Police Department, they are offering a reward for information leading to an arrest.
Retailers fighting organized theft rings that are stealing tens of billions of dollars of merchandise a year, which means we pay more at the checkout to cover the losses. And tonight, for the first time, Atlanta-based Home Depot is suggesting the opioid crisis could be partly to blame for the massive thefts from its stores this year. Here's John Sherrick.
Retailers say it's worse than ever. Blatant thefts from their stores. This video on Twitter at a Sears store posted Tuesday night, millions of views. Now Atlanta-based Home Depot is sounding the alarm. Corporate executives telling investors Wednesday thefts from Home Depot stores this year have gotten so bad the losses are reducing corporate profits. Home Depot chairman and CEO Craig Lanier telling Wall Street,
it is driven by, in large part, by organized retail crime that has expanded rapidly in this country. We have a hypothesis that this ties to the opioid crisis.
Opioid addicts targeting Home Depot and other retailers. And so desperate for money, they steal as much merchandise as they can carry in bulk and sell it immediately for cash to organized crime rings that then market the merchandise online. And in a report released Wednesday by the National Retail Federation, more than 2/3 of U.S. retailers say they have seen an increase in organized retail crimes in their stores this year. Atlanta, one of the 10 U.S. cities with the highest retail crime rates, potentially raising prices that we all pay at checkout. Home Depot telling investors Wednesday the company is working on better security. For example, making electronic merchandise useless unless it goes through checkout scanners.
That you buy a power tool, and the only time that power tool can work is if it goes through a POS.
Home Depot executives hoping to reduce thefts next year, fighting not just shoplifters, they say, but more and more organized crime and the opioid crisis.
The flu season hitting Georgia early. I'm hoping not to have flu, Aisha. You can hear my nose is struggling right now. We've had some bad news in the state about the flu, and it's very, very early. We're talking about 1 death already in Georgia. Now, the Georgia Department of Public Health has released new numbers for the flu season. According to the report, 132 people have been hospitalized so far. The CDC says this season has been particularly bad in the South, and if that worries you, it should. You got to make sure that you get a flu vaccine to help in your odds against contracting it. For the last few weeks, we've been flooded with all kinds of claims of human trafficking all around metro Atlanta. A number of social media posts went viral with women saying that they were approached by strangers at grocery stores and malls. Now, we have verified the claims with police, but they say that they have found no evidence, none at all, that it is human trafficking. Still, with this topic so strong right now, it is not surprising when Gwinnett Police announced this week that they were hosting an informational class on trafficking. That class quickly filled up. In fact, they hit their 120-person cap almost immediately. Now, they are planning to offer another class that will be scheduled in the spring. The department says the class covers how the community can help fight the problem. As you know, last year, Georgia reported 375 trafficking cases. Only 6 other states in America had more. For more on this story, you can visit mylawrencevillenews.com.
The most significant pay raises in 15 years. Today, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms unveiled a $15.6 million plan to increase pay for Atlanta's firefighters. It will take effect over the next 3.5 years. Now, coupled with previous raises, officials say this represents a 25% increase in firefighters' base pay. They hope that's going to improve Atlanta's ability to not only recruit, but keep those firefighters. And thanks to some tweaks in the city's budget, it will happen without raising taxes. Well, just a new video from an armed robbery at a Buckhead restaurant. Police are trying to track down these men who pistol whipped a female manager at Velvet Tacos on West Paces Ferry. I think that spot just opened there, Jeff, by the Jenny's Ice Cream there in Buckhead. Then they made off with more than $3 grand in cash. Wow. One of the suspects has been arrested. Police say he actually worked at Velvet Taco. How about that? But the other 3 are still on the run tonight, and even though they are wearing masks on the video, police hope someone recognizes them from the portions of their faces that are left out. Call Crime Stoppers in Atlanta if you recognize them. A woman is stabbed by a passenger in the lift. The story is crazy. She jumps out trying to run away, but then is hit by a truck. Incredibly, the woman survived. Now, South Fulton police are looking for the attacker. Joe Henke talked to the driver who hit her.
I couldn't leave her. I didn't mean to hit her, but I couldn't leave her.
South Fulton police told 11 Alive the woman Tyrone Bush hit was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
I just want to know how she's doing, man, because that could have been my daughter.
Late Tuesday night, Bush says he drove down Butner Road near Fair Ridge going 45, the speed limit, and he spotted a car on the side of the road with emergency lights on.
Next thing you know, the girl darted out of the back seat of the car out in front of my truck. And I hit the brakes to try to stop her hitting, and I still hit.
South Fulton police say the stopped car was carrying 3 passengers for Lyft, and one stabbed another during an argument. The victim then ran into the road.
They was trying to kill her. Because the way she was running from them, I know she was wanting to get away from somebody, but I couldn't stop in time.
Bush says the woman said she was stabbed multiple times. The Lyft driver and one passenger stayed at the scene. Now police are investigating why the woman was stabbed.
We're unsure what the altercation was at this point. They were in the rideshare vehicle at the time of the incident. Like mentioned before, we're still trying to determine the exact location that they were picked up and also their relationship at this point.
In the darkness, Bush says he didn't feel safe as the argument continued.
Hey, they was really yelling and screaming. I don't know who was doing all the yelling and screaming, but they were yelling and screaming, fussing and cussing and all this. I don't know what they were saying, but all I know, I made it back to my truck because I didn't have a weapon. It was too many of them.
Bush waited for police, but remembers watching at least one person walk away before they arrived.
There was a car down the street that pulled up down the street when I got out. It never pulled all the way down here. The people walked down, and then next thing you know, I didn't see them no more.
A South Fulton police sergeant says they believe the driver and 3 passengers in the Lyft were all women. They have not been able to ID the suspect or victim. Investigators say they're working to get more information from Lyft.
Mother charged with child cruelty after leaving her 14-year-old son with special needs at Grady Hospital. At first, police and the hospital had no idea who the child was after discovering him wandering alone outside. But a teacher who saw our story recognized the boy, then reached out to APD. The mother told officers she was overwhelmed, caring for the teen and 3 other of her children. The story is now sparking a major conversation about resources for families in need. Here's Caitlin Ross.
In the picture police originally sent to us of the boy, he and his mom, Diana Elliott, are holding hands as she leads him into the hospital. He's dressed warmly and has a backpack, but police say Elliott left him at Grady without telling anyone who he was. Now, she's in jail and he's in foster care. Advocates from the Down syndrome community say they understand her desperation.
Look, you get mommy the picture and you get the book.
At 4.5, Asher is finally learning to communicate with his mom.
Bubbles. Oh, thank you.
In his own way. He points at pictures to tell her what he needs.
All I want to do is talk to Asher, and I want him to be able to wake up and say, I want to eat this for breakfast. I want to watch this. I want to play with this, or I love you, Mom.
Just last week, Megan Nash posted on social media about how hard it is to have a child who can't talk to her, tell her how he feels. So when she saw the story about the teen left at Grady, it hit home.
This young man is probably sitting there terrified because he can't talk.
All of her friends who have kids with Down syndrome immediately started talking, not about how what Diana Elliott allegedly did was wrong, but about how they could help her.
From one mom to another, I am grieving for her, and I want her to know, though, the Down syndrome community, we are not sitting here judging. We are standing behind her. We are ready. We want to help.
Thousands of people reached out to see how they could help the family. Hannah Mathis is a foster mom for special needs kids and thinks Elliot dropped her son off at the hospital because she loves him.
Somewhere where he could get care and he could get food and warmth, and there would be people that would be able to look after him. The other options are so sad and drastic.
She contacted DFACS to see if she could foster the boy until the mom gets back on her feet.
And you're not alone, and he's not alone.
The teen is in the state's custody now, but Hannah and Megan think he should be back with his mom.
Breaking my heart that this poor little boy was probably so terrified and confused.
Diana Elliott's court hearing is at 11 a.m. tomorrow at the Fulton County Jail. She's charged with child cruelty.
We have received so many questions about Georgia's safe haven law, which allows parents to give up their newborns if they cannot care for them, and whether it applies in this case. Here's 11 Alive's Doug Richards taking a closer look.
The Georgia legislature passed its first child abandonment law in 2002. It required abandoned newborns to be less than 72 hours old. Parents had to drop them off to staff at a hospital, and parents had to identify themselves. In 2017, the state loosened the law, allowing children up to 30 days old to be dropped off to hospital, fire, or police station staff, and parents could decline to answer questions.
The law is the way it's written in the state of Georgia is you need to hand it to a person.
Sarah Keppen leads a nonprofit that handles abandoned children.
She has every right to give as much information as she's willing to. But she also has the right within the law to give no information if she can't for some reason or doesn't want to.
No safe haven law covers children older than 30 days. But Keppen says the state has revised its adoption laws. The law now allows a parent to give up a child at any age to the state or an adoption agency or an adoption attorney at no charge. Keppen says adoption attorneys will also protect the anonymity of parents.
We have the families. Families is not the issue. We have the laws in place. That's not the issue. It's getting the information out to the person that may be living on the streets on a cold night, that may be in a desperate situation.
A canine officer who bit a vet technician is still a certified police dog. 2 vet technicians were handling a Fulton County Sheriff's Office officer canine last week when the dog suddenly attacked one of them, biting her in the arm and the face. The police report says the dog held on for at least 2 minutes on her face because no one inside the Roswell VCA facility knew the dog's command to release because the dog understood words in check. The worker had to be hospitalized. Fulton County says Canine Ian has been with the sheriff's office since August of 2017, and he has never reported any problems. The county says a supervisor checked out the dog after the attack and appeared to be fine. He still is certified and will be up for his yearly recertification very soon.
We had a good opportunity to dry out today as those temperatures have been cooling off. But look at this, more moisture is going to start moving in from the south. I'll let you know when it's going to get here and if it's going to linger into your weekend.
And there is an app for that, the app created by Georgia State students that's helping users pay back their student loans. Student loan debt remains a top issue among 2020 presidential candidates. Some Democratic candidates propose tuition-free colleges, handing out free stuff, and wiping out student debt.
2 former Georgia State students are already doing what they can to tackle the issue through the creation of their mobile app, Coins.
Elwin Lopez sat down with them today. And Elwin, this is an issue that has a deep impact, not only here in Atlanta, but all across the country. And I know there's so many people watching right now, parents that are certainly concerned about the future of their child and the ability to pay for their education.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Jeff. Atlanta is number 2 on the list of metro cities with the most debt this year. That's according to LendingTree. Now, Christian Zimmerman was in his early 20s when he and Nate Washington launched the mobile app Coins, which now helps them and others pay off their student loans.
Once I found out that I had that problem, I tried to see, what other people may have run into the same problem, and I found out there was almost all Americans.
$1.6 trillion. That is how much is owed in federal student loans. Each year, nearly 12 million students borrow $100 billion from the federal government to attend a college or trade school.
A lot of what isn't told to parents or students in general is kind of like what can come afterwards, or what you don't know what the repercussions are afterwards.
In just a few years, Zimmerman and Nate Washington have helped more than 60,000 people whittle down their debt with their app Coins.
To date, we've helped people pay off close to $10 million worth of debt so far.
The app can round up your purchases and apply the change toward your debt on a monthly cycle.
If you make a purchase for $3.50, we round it up to $4 and take the 50 cents and automatically apply it to your debt.
A lot of people would argue that, I could just make monthly payments on my own, but most people don't. So we try to help build that habit so you can start to see the impact that you can make by making little changes.
The 2 Georgia State alums say that within the app, you can also talk to a financial advisor while in college to better guide you through repayment options. And we know that student loans will continue to be a talker throughout the elections and isn't an issue that seems to be going away anytime soon.
The cost of education is staggering. I've got a 17-and-a-half-year-old son, so I'm obviously pretty hip to all of this, but it's incredible how the prices have gone up with education in this country. It's staggering, and it is stifling for many all around the country. All right, on to weather.
I'm paying for tuition right now.
Enough with my own woe here, but let's talk about dry and cold right now.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, it is dry and cold, and I don't know if y'all been outside tonight. I know you've been busy anchoring all these newscasts that we're doing here, but we have a beautiful full moon out there. Now, here's the deal. It's not officially at full disk until we get to the overnight hours, but that's one thing that makes it really cool. The moon will be full at 12:12 a.m. on 12/12. That's December 12th. So a lot of numerologists are kind of going crazy with this. 12:12 a.m. is the full moon on 12/12. And it looks beautiful out there, and we have great visibility for it as well, as we have mainly clear skies, really good viewing conditions out there tonight if you want to go out and look at that full moon. We have some pictures that have been sent in from some of our 11 Alive community storm trackers. This is from Scott Anna and Choi Stoy. This is up in Union County. Beautiful shot there of the sky, the stars. They don't have a lot of light pollution in North Georgia there in Union County, so you got that nice blue sky, the moon, and also those stars. And then this one is from Bill Honea in Noonan. This is a close-up. How do you like that? You can see all of the structure there of the moon and a lot of the features, so really nice picture of the almost full moon that will be full at 12:12 during the overnight hours tonight. Now, if you're going out to look at the moon, just know it looks like a regular full moon. There's nothing really special about it. We have a full moon every month, but it's the last one of the year, the last one of the decade, if you say this is the end of the decade here. But just know it's going to be cold out there, 43 in town. But look at this, it's 33 in Marietta, 10 degrees cooler in Marietta right now. What happens when we have these clear skies? Many areas cool off faster than others. In Atlanta, we hold on to some of the heat of the days. We call it the urban heat island here. But outside the city, that heat from the day radiates faster out into the atmosphere when we have those clear skies. That's why we're seeing that wide range of temperatures. Now, we'll be in those low 40s this hour. Next hour, we'll be closer to the 30s. We'll be in those 30s around midnight and after. Starting off tomorrow morning, right around 36 degrees. We'll have plenty of sunshine here to start the day. And then we get up to 52. So it's going to be a chilly start. 52 in the afternoon. We start off the day with sunshine, and then late afternoon, the clouds start building in. They're going to push in from the south, and then eventually the rain comes in later tomorrow night. So here's the timeline of what we're watching. Dry in the morning, plenty of sunshine. At lunchtime, still plenty of sunshine. But here comes that cloud cover, pushing in from the south. So we'll see that increasing late afternoon. Showers on the south side begin to move in during the evening hours. We're also going to be watching with this easterly flow here. There may be some pockets up in far northeast Georgia with a little bit of a wedge developing. As that moisture moves in, it may briefly mix in with a little bit of winter precip, but I don't think it's going to last long at all. I'm not really concerned about any issues there. In the morning hours on Friday, you can kind of see what we're watching while folks are driving into work Friday, going through some showers. And Friday's not going to be a fun day at all. We're going to have these off and on showers around, and it's going to be chilly too. Temperatures are only going to hold in the 40s here for your Friday afternoon. Once we get into Saturday, we think that rain will be ending early. Just a couple lingering showers, then clearing out. Highs warming back to 59. 60 on Sunday looks like the best day of the next 7 days. Then a 9 on Monday on the wazometer as a few more clouds start to move into the area. Rain holds off until overnight Monday into Tuesday. Then we dry out again Tuesday with another round of colder air pushing our way.
I'm Francesca Emmerker with the A Scene, and we are taking you to the red carpet. Stars gathered for the Atlanta premiere of Richard Jewell, the movie, but did Clint Eastwood and the cast answer my questions about the movie's controversy? I'll have the details for you coming up in the A Scene. All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Wednesday's edition of the A Scene, and we are kicking off with a look at the red carpet from the hit movie Richard Jewell that was filmed right here in Georgia. I got a chance to speak with director Clint Eastwood about the film, and of course, this is the one about the 1996 bombing that happened in Atlanta. I spoke to Eastwood and the stars of the movie about the Georgia Film Project and questioned him about the controversial portrayal of AJC reporter Kathy Scruggs. The film infers she slept with the lead FBI agent to learn of the lead suspect in the bombing. There is a little backlash about Olivia Wilde's character. What do you have to say to those critics who say not enough research was done for Kathy Scruggs' character?
Well, there's only so much research you could do. You can't live inside the people because they no longer exist. You know, we know as much as anybody knows. Kathy Scruggs was a very interesting personality, and she seemed to and she did find the answer to it. So how she did it, nobody probably will ever really know.
This project's been around for about 5 years and was a very famous screenplay with, Jonah and Leo attached at one point. So they could have done their digging. It feels like a last-minute thing by the AJC. And while I appreciate their opinion, I'm not going to let it be a shroud or a shadow over the celebration of this moment for the Jewell family.
It's my understanding that the people that are making these accusations haven't even seen the film yet. So I kind of feel like the irony of that is sort of ridiculous. But Kathy is portrayed by Olivia in this film just as she was, which is an incredibly nuanced individual. To reduce her to this one thing, I think, is not fair.
And again, the AJC is calling the portrayal baseless. There's talk of even a possible lawsuit. They even want a disclaimer in the movie. The movie comes out nationwide this Friday. And there are some apartments that Eastwood did mention in our full interview, and they're actually located right on Buford Highway. For more of the AC, make sure you head on over to 11alive.com/theAC, and especially if you want to see the full interviews between myself and the entire cast of the movie from last night. So head on over and let us know what you think.
All right, I'm headed out to get ready for Up Late coming up on 11 Alive at 11 p.m. So if you are up late, join myself and Ron Jones for more news. We'll be there.
You're breaking my heart, you know that.
Sorry, but I gotta go.
Is there anything that I could do to keep you here? If I were to bring in some snacks or some beverages or something, would you stay?
Snacks make everything negotiable.
Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Aisha, thank you. We appreciate it. See you tonight at 11 o'clock. Here's what's coming up on the ATL as I cough my way through the first segment here. After leaving his office, his focus is to help mold young minds. Coming up, we're catching up with former Governor Deal, talking about his life, what's going on right now, and where he is going. 2019 certainly will be known in a lot of ways, but one of them will be the public perception of how vaping has changed. Now, 48 people have died from serious lung injury related to vaping, and 3 of those have lived in Georgia. Our Reveal investigator, as you know, is Rebecca Lindstrom, and she spoke with one mother who sat night after night by her son's hospital bed as he struggled to breathe.
It was a 4th of July weekend, a family day on the lake.
My son said, "Mom, I'm having a hard time breathing. I'm short of breath, and I feel like I'm having a heart attack." I'm like, "Oh, you're 17 years old."
Amy, a nurse at Northside, wrote it off as a minor respiratory infection. But the next day, she stood in her own emergency room watching as he struggled to breathe.
The doctor comes in and says his lung has collapsed.
The next 4 days were a blur of tubes and chest x-rays, but his lung would not expand.
So the cardiothoracic surgeon came in and says to my son, "Have you been vaping?"
And was that the first time anyone had asked this question?
Yes.
Amy said she then understood why her son, who we have been asked not to identify, was also acting so strange. He was going through nicotine withdrawal.
He was sweating, shaking. He said he felt like he was coming out of his skin with anxiety.
Amy's son had been vaping for a year and a half, the last 6 months heavily.
I never knew my son was doing it. I'm a mom and a nurse.
Stable, the hospital sent her son home to recover, but less than 24 hours later,
I felt like this was a nightmare.
His left lung had also collapsed. You're not supposed to see those ribs.
No, this lung right here should be expanded out through the entire cavity.
Vape products are unregulated. A federal lawsuit is forcing manufacturers to come into compliance by May 2020 with rules put in place by the FDA more than 3 years ago. But companies defend their products now, saying they were never intended for teenagers.
Really, do you know any adult that would walk into a vape shop and say, "Yeah, I'd like to try unicorn poop"?
Amy has no idea what her son vaped. She just knows his lungs were covered in blebs. You can see one here.
The bleb is from the heated vapor. It's a blister, and the blisters pop,
allowing air to escape. Her son ended up having surgery, the tops of his lungs literally stapled to his chest wall. Amy remembers the night before his procedure.
He looks over at me and he says, "Am I gonna die? Am I gonna make it through this?"
We are dedicating an entire half hour to this issue on The Reveal. Be sure to watch this Sunday at 6 o'clock. New at 10, it's one of the more popular tourist destinations for people who live in Metro Atlanta. You know where we're talking about, the Smoky Mountains, of course. Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, always so much fun. And it's only been 3 years since fires devastated the area, but towns have been rebuilding. The visitors have been coming back, and this year that area is celebrating the 30th anniversary of Winterfest, the annual festival of parades, lights, and Christmas shows. Dolly Parton has done so much in that area to bring back the revitalization as well, helping people with money and resources. Also, the area is expecting this to be one of the best ever. Coming back from those fires is stirring.
You know, the takeaway is that we recognize how much we've grown. Obviously, from a tourism standpoint, the recovery has been great, but how better we are, how better prepared we are, how better we are in running our cities and marketing our cities, and really just a bigger picture positive takeaway.
Winterfest is underway. It runs through February. Thinking of that area without Dolly Parton is impossible, and yes, Dollywood is certainly a part of the festivities. He was one of the most popular governors ever in the state, the 82nd governor of the state of Georgia, and now Governor Deal is leading it's a more quiet life. He is in retirement, and this week in the segment called Whatever Happened To, Nick Sturdivant sit down with Governor Deal in one of his first interviews since leaving office. The governor talking about life after being the chief executive, which he admits has not been easy.
For 8 years, Nathan Deal called 391 West Paces Ferry Road in Atlanta home. It's where the state's top leader lives during their term. Now, Life is a lot more secluded for former Governor Dill and his wife Sandra here in Habersham County, next to the Chattahoochee River. But these past 11 months have been hardly smooth sailing.
I'm in the process of recuperating from my back surgery that I had 10 days after I left office as governor. And they tell me I'm about 80% recovered.
Dill said he started having back problems near the end of his term. He told me that since his surgery, he has been going to physical therapy and to a personal trainer to regain his balance and strength. That hasn't stopped him from working, though.
So it's a mixture of working, it's a mixture of recovery, and so it's busy, though. We get invited to go to so many things.
Dill will head back to the classroom soon. Mercer University recently appointed him as the Distinguished University Professor of Government.
I guess how special was that? I mean, that is your alma mater.
It is a special place. It gave me a great foundation. It's something that is able to be fitted into my schedule very easily. It will amount to a series of lectures that I'll be asked to do with the goal at the end of a couple of years maybe to compile those lectures into a book.
What do you tell a 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old that will be in your class?
I have to be on my toes to be able to answer their questions. But I think somebody asked me one time, says, well, what is your purpose in going back and being a professor at a university? I said, well, my main purpose is to try to teach young people how to think. If they can think on their own, then they'll be good citizens.
Dill is also an invited guest speaker at the University of North Georgia. You can catch him and his wife Sandra across the metro Atlanta area, from reading to children to speaking engagements. The father of 4 and grandfather of 6 is preparing to spend the holidays with his family.
I guess retirement life, has it been what you thought it would be?
Well, like I say, I don't feel like I've had the normal retirement, but as I said, we have a very busy schedule. So Sandra says, come see us. Just call us before you come, because make sure we're going to be here.
I was a member of Leadership Atlanta in 2019, and about 10 or 11 months ago, Governor Dill came and spoke to us as a group, and he talked about an issue that's really near and dear to his heart, and that is prison reform. Talked about the incarceration of African-American men and trying to change all of that. He's one of the only governors in the United States who has been an activist on that front and who has created change. Very emotional speech from him, and about the importance of hiring men who had been in jail into jobs where they could function and have success. Very emotional speech. I will never forget it, and we wish Governor Dill and his wife only the best in the months ahead, and they'll do just fine. Thousands of people go to Lake Lanier each summer when the sun is bright and the water is cool, but the deadliest day on Lake Lanier was in the heart of winter. Caitlin Ross takes us back to Christmas Day, 1964, when one of Atlanta's favorite lakes became the site of a watery tragedy.
I was in the 11th grade, and we were living in the city limits of Cumming.
Martha McConnell is a lifelong resident of Forsyth County. She vividly remembers the day the stretch of road near her childhood home became the site of the deadliest day at Lake Lanier. Her stepdad, in fact, was a witness to it.
He was very upset. He had come across a wreck that involved a family with children.
The Rogers and the Brown families lived in Gainesville and were celebrating Christmas together. It was 1 p.m, and the 4 adults and 7 children piled into the Browns' old 1959 station wagon. They were heading across the lake to get apples before eating their holiday supper.
It was down a slope, and I think he came around a curve and started down, so it would have been very easy to venture off into another lane.
That's exactly what happened when the car hit the 2 Mile Creek Bridge over Lake Lanier on 141. According to police reports from 1964, Johnny Brown picked up speed, clipped a guardrail, hit a power pole, and the car flipped over into the river, with all 11 people still inside.
He jumped out of the car to see if he could help, and he told us that there was what he thought was a doll belonging to one of the children floating in the water.
Martha's stepdad, several other passersby, and local dive teams rescued as many people as they could.
I think he got there just moments after the accident happened.
2 adults and 2 children survived. Everyone else, including 5 children, perished.
I think it just horrified him because there were so many children involved.
Still warm on the stove at home was their Christmas hen, waiting for a holiday dinner that would never happen.
Published reports in 1964 said witnesses told police Johnny Brown had been drinking before he got behind the wheel.
We're going to be watching those temperatures tonight as they fall. We're going to be moving down into the 30s, some areas close to freezing. I'll show you which counties in North Georgia will be closer to that freezing mark.
Justin Fields back in Atlanta. You will hear what the former UGA quarterback has to say about the Dogs and Ohio State and all things football. That's coming up next. It is the most wonderful time of the year, of course, to get a good deal, but even something exciting like a new TV can be dangerous and even deadly to children. This is something to watch very closely if you have children or grandchildren in your home. Liz McLaughlin shows us an inexpensive and easy way to make sure that your home is child safe.
As shoppers use holiday deals to buy new TVs and furniture, the Consumer Product Safety Commission is renewing the push about tip-over dangers.
A lot of people just don't know about this hazard in their home.
About every 30 minutes, tipped furniture or a falling TV sends an injured child to the emergency room. And every 12 days, a child dies. The vast majority of those deaths are kids under 5 years old.
You're not supposed to bury your child. If we had known the steps that we could have taken, it wouldn't have happened.
These heartbreaking stories are part of an Anchor It campaign to spread awareness.
Please anchor it.
And let parents know many tip-over incidents are preventable.
The tip-over hazard in homes is real, but the solution is very simple.
An anchor kit can secure furniture to a wall, available at hardware stores, big box retailers, and online. Anchors are inexpensive and only take about 5 minutes to install.
Anchor your furniture, anchor your TVs, anchor your dressers, your large furniture, and even your appliances.
The CPSC recommends putting TVs on a low, sturdy base and pushing it as far back as possible. Parents can also reduce the temptation for kids to climb.
Don't leave toys and juice boxes and the remote control on top of furniture.
Simple steps to prevent a tragic accident.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. We're watching those temperatures tonight as they cool off. You can see that blue color indicating the really chilly air that we have in our area right now, especially over North Georgia. We have a lot more 30s. It's close to freezing at this hour in Marietta. And look at this, we're in the 20s in Blairsville. Compare that to 43 here in the Atlanta area. Down on the south side, even some cool air in Peachtree City, where it's 33 degrees there too. Temperatures tonight are going to be very chilly. We will stay above freezing here in town, but there will be a lot of areas outside the city that'll be closer to the freezing mark. We're going to get down to around 36 degrees, that clear sky, starting off with sunshine, whereas today we started off with more clouds around. Those clouds broke up to give us sunshine. Tomorrow we start off with sunshine, and then later in the day the clouds will move back in, and then eventually some of that rain is going to move our way. So on the wasometer here for Thursday, it's our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. We're going to go with a 9, a low of 36, and a high of 52 degrees. Here's that timeline of the clear sky tonight, really cold air in place. You can see this blue line here. I know it's kind of squiggly over North Georgia. That's indicating where we'll see temperatures north of that line. That'll be below freezing, kind of a hodgepodge of some of those freezing temperatures all around. We will stay dry until the lunchtime hour as well, and clear. And then it's going to be late afternoon when these clouds down to the south start moving into our area. This is at 5 o'clock, so clouds increase late afternoon, dry from Atlanta northward, but the showers, just a little bit of light rain, beginning to develop on the south side. That'll start pushing our way during the evening hours. It's not going to be a torrential downpour or anything, just a few scattered showers developing. With that east flow, we're going to keep an eye on some cold air coming into northeast Georgia. There might be some little periods of brief mixing in those higher elevations. I don't expect anything major or any widespread issues there, but just know that overnight, Thursday into Friday, we're going to have these showers around. And look at this, on Friday morning when many of you are headed out to work, yeah, you're going to be driving through some rain. It is going to be a pretty soggy day here on Friday, as well as cold air in place thanks to this wedge. We're only going to see high temperatures going up into the upper 40s. And then showers start tapering off overnight Friday into Saturday, maybe a couple lingering showers around early, and then we'll clear out later in the day. High temperatures up to about 59 on Saturday, so we start to warm back up. 60 on Sunday with partly cloudy skies, and then clouds increase again Monday, and then a few showers redevelop here on Tuesday, and then drier and cooler again by the middle of next week.
Have you made a decision for sure? In terms of, are you going to play?
Dogs are playing. I'm still a dog, man.
All right. J.R. Reed may be preparing for the NFL draft, but he is planning on being in New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl. He is nominated for the Jim Thorpe Award, going to the best defensive back in college football. The awards are tomorrow. While there is still some disappointment in not beating LSU, Reed said the defense has known for some time they would have to make up for the offense's lack of production.
You get to like week 5 and you know what type of offense you have, so you take it upon yourselves, and it is what it is. You can't really be mad at them or have frustration on the defense because we're a defense-heavy team, so we know that. You know, it's week 12. We're going into the SEC championship. It's nothing new to us.
Also in town for tomorrow's awards, Justin Fields. Not only is he up for the Davey O'Brien Quarterback Award, but he is a Heisman finalist as well. He tells us why transferring out of UGA was the right decision for him.
Here's Fields with time in the end zone.
Award season is upon us, and among the stars of 2019, former UGA quarterback Justin Fields is back from the Buckeye State.
The biggest transition was the weather, but other than that, it was all the same.
After getting homesick and almost running back to UGA, Fields burst onto the scene at Ohio State and is now a finalist for the Heisman Trophy, among other awards.
It's actually like a dream come true, and I never would have thought that I would be in the place I am today.
If Fields had stayed at UGA, he likely wouldn't be a finalist. He has excelled in a spread offense, unlike at Georgia, where he didn't get to show his full potential backing up Jake Fromm, and he left after just one season.
Of course, people want to say we're running from competition, but it's really just another, I guess, place to display our talent. We do it because we love the game, so I mean, if they don't like it, then that's that, really.
To everyone's surprise, including Fields, UGA's offense struggled in 2019. Meanwhile, Fields led Ohio State to the postseason with his legs and his arm and his smarts.
I mean, they're pretty similar in terms of concept. I think just Coach Day does a great job building the offense around his players.
Fields is all in with the Buckeyes, but he does credit UGA with some of his success.
The stuff that I went through at Georgia not only prepared me for the football life, but I think it actually made me a stronger person in kind of facing adversity.
So look, if Fields wins a national championship at Ohio State, that'll be right up there with Brett Favre being sent to Green Bay. Oh, man. Speaking of Fields, his alma mater, Harrison, is in the 6A state championship. Fields today said if he were healthy his senior season, he would have led the Hoyas to their first title. This year it's a rematch against the rivals from earlier in the year, and head coach Matt Dickman said the team has done a good job blocking out distractions.
We talked a lot about not being selfish, putting our egos away, being focused and disciplined, and we harped on that. So our motto this year, which is actually on the back of our t-shirt, is relentless, finish the mission. So they've accomplished all those things. They've stayed focused.
Hawks at Bulls, watch this. Bull gets kicked right into the Hawks radio announcer Steve Holman. Ouch. Oh man, that's awful. Hope he's okay. Man. Trae Young, no look to Damian Jones for the dunk. Some good offensive moments, but the defense never could stop the bleeding. Bulls ran away with it in the third quarter. Hawks lose 136-102. That's it for sports. We'll take a break. We're back right after this. Chris, thank you for all your good work.
Oh, it's been a nice long evening.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, same to you.
That's it for us. Have a good night. See you tomorrow, guys.
How about surprising your family with something different this year by giving them the gift of comfort? Choose ARS Rescue Rooter for that gift, and we'll give you up to $1,750 off your new heating and cooling system. Call today to schedule your free consultation. Visit arsgeorgia.com.
What does Help for Heart Failure look like? It looks like this. Entresto is a heart failure pill that helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARM. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
The beat goes on.
Yeah.
The Scott Antique Markets is this weekend. Join us at America's favorite treasure hunt. There's no telling what you'll find. Visit the Atlanta Expo Centers at I-285 and Jonesboro Road. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend. For more info, check out scottantiquemarkets.com.
As you can see, we are up 10% for this quarter. I do think there is still some room for improvement.
Distracted? Maybe it's time for a break.
Oh, yeah.
Get away to Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort and play. Enter now for a chance to win $1 million on New Year's Eve.
My psoriatic arthritis pain, I had enough. It's not getting in my way.
Joint pain, swelling, tenderness, much better.
My psoriasis, clearer. Cosentix works on all of this.
4 years and counting. So watch out. I got this.
Watch me.
Real people with active psoriatic arthritis are feeling real relief with Cosentix. Cosentix is a different kind of targeted biologic. It treats the multiple symptoms of psoriatic arthritis to help you look and feel better. It even helps stop further joint damage. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
I just look and feel better.
I got real relief with Cosentix. Watch me.
Feel real relief. Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentix.
Shopping for my pets used to be so stressful. But with Chewy.com, I can get those big bags of pet food and litter delivered. It makes the holidays that much easier.
Get the gift of fast, free shipping on your pet food and supplies today at Chewy, where pet lovers shop.
The last thing you want is a cold home. If that happens, call ARS Rescue Rooter. For a limited time, we'll take $50 off any cooling or heating system repair. Visit arsgeorgia.com.